In the Palisades, there's only one establishment that really didn't burn, and that was Rick Caruso's place. It's several acres, retail space. For people who don't know who Rick Caruso is, he's a great developer. And so basically, in a city full of garbage, full of crime, you walk into one of Caruso's places, the Grove or the Americana in Glendale, and it's safe, it's clean, you want to bring your kids. And my whole thing is, why doesn't he just take that and apply it to all of LA? As you can see, it's destruction for as far as the eye can see, but Rick Caruso's village remains intact because he knows what he's doing and he planned in advance. All right, so I'm here with Rick Caruso. Rick, developer, commercial builder, philanthropist, entrepreneur. This close to becoming the mayor of Los Angeles a few years ago. That would have been a dream for me. So this project we're talking about here, this is the rec center?
Yeah, Pali Rec Center.
The Pali Rec Center, and this structure seems to be intact, but this is going to come down according to the new plan, right?
Yeah, so Adam, what we're doing with a group of designers and landscape architects and engineers is we're reimagining the whole park. We have an opportunity to do that now. The other gym did burn down, and that's already been cleared. This has a lot of smoke damage on the inside. And so there's really a great opportunity out here to create something really special for the next 100 years, and that's what we're doing.
This is going to be leveled to the ground. This is a building from the 30s, the 40s?
This is probably the 40s, 50s, yeah.
40s, 50s.
Pretty tired.
And we're just going to use this as an opportunity to start with a fresh sheet of paper.
Right.
And just reimagine this whole place. And then how's it funded?
We're going to go raise private funds, and we're started that already. So this is all being done through Steadfast, the nonprofit that I started. And 100% of the dollars that go into Steadfast go right back into the communities here, Malibu, and Altadena.
Yeah, what do you make of stuff like they had that big $100 million concert that raised all the money for the victims of the fires and no one knows where the money went?
Listen, no good deed goes unpunished sometimes, right? I think the money went to a lot of really great places. So
oh, you do?
I do. I feel pretty strongly that everybody involved, and I was involved with that too, was making sure the money got out to organizations that were bringing it back into the community. But we're being very, very mindful to make sure that everything goes back into these communities. And the park really represents the same opportunity in all of these communities. Everything should get rebuilt with innovation, today's technology, the best thinking, the best designers, the best architects, and let's move forward and recreate something really special for these communities.
And just as a general process for you, because I come from a background of building, and as a builder, you're always in a hurry.
Right.
And it's a mentality. And you could see it when Trump was doing the presser and he had Karen Bass, and he's like, let's go. Tonight. We do it tonight.
Right.
Karen Bass like, slow it down.
Right.
Trump's like, tonight, because that's really, I'm seeing a commercial builder who's always in a hurry because it's always, we cannot get the steel guys going until the foundation guys are done, and we can't get the windows in until the steel guys are done, and everything's just this process versus a group that is used to sort of having a process and slowing everyone's roll and everything like that. So for you, it's got to be frustrating dealing with that process, I'm guessing, but you want to streamline the process, and I don't know how the permitting is going with all the Palisades rebuilding. I know there's some AI talk.
Well, we just did the AI. We developed the AI through Steadfast, and we gave it to the city and the county, and they're adopting it. So that's going to cut months out of plan check. So that's a good thing. But here's the basic premise. You've got to have private enterprise working along government. This disaster is too big. They do not have a sense of urgency or innovation, and we've been pushing them, and that's fine, and we're going to continue to push them. And as I've said to our team, we're going to walk with the elected officials, we're going to walk around the elected officials or through them, but we're going. And this park is a good example. We are going lightning speed. I've given the team until the beginning of January to be under construction. It's a very aggressive schedule to get it drawn, designed, engineered, and built, and I want to get it opened by next summer.
That is ambitious. In terms of building techniques for all the rebuild, there's a little bit of rebuilding going on in the Palisades. I haven't seen any in Malibu.
Yeah.
For some reason, there's some framing going up in the Palisades. It's pretty few and far between, but the few structures I'm seeing are stick frame with half-inch sheathing and shear wall and everything else plywood. It's all wood.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing they're going to do something with the rafter tails and the eaves and the roofing and the siding
venting.
and stuff,
Right.
the venting and that kind of stuff. Where do you come down on that? Are you for a traditional framed home that then takes into account fire, or are you more of a concrete or steel or completely nothing combustible in it?
I think you can accomplish it in a lot of different ways. I think you can have wood framing and then make sure you have your skin that's not combustible, and make sure you're designing it to be fire protective, like we did at the Village.
That's what you did at the Village.
That's what we did at the Village, and it withstood it. But listen, we had a lot of resources going into the Village because you're building in a fire area, and this area probably won't have a fire for decades, but nonetheless, it will have a fire again down the road. And so everybody should be building and being mindful of that.
Did you have your own fire department at the Village?
We did. We had a private fire department, private water tanks, and we had retardant. And that was all part of the plan that was developed years before the fire hit.
How many years?
Oh, as we were building it 6 years ago.
Were you thinking that whatever was in place that the city and the county was providing would be inadequate, or was it just of overprotective measure?
It is just good planning and being smart and protecting your assets. And we live by a motto, what's predictable is preventable. We're in a fire zone. And we also know that if there is a fire, the resources of the city should be going to the residential.
Right.
That's the first priority. So we want to be able to take care of ourselves and not take away resources that would help the neighborhood. Now, as it turns out, we were loaning our resources to LA Fire because they were so short of equipment. And we were able to save the whole block around us in addition to our property.
Well, I know we're going to go tour that property, and I'm looking forward to it, because if you go up on the hill behind the Village, it pretty much just looks like, Dresden in 1944, except for the Village, which is unharmed. So you see this moonscape of destruction as far as the eye can see in every direction, and right in the middle of it is this oasis of unmolested buildings, and you have to get up and get behind it to really get perspective for it, but it's quite astounding.
It does prove the point, though, that most of this area could have been saved had the city been properly prepared for it.
Well, that's what I would say to a lot of people who were defending and saying, hey, come on, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. I would say, look, I used to do earthquake rehab work. We know there's going to be an earthquake.
Right.
When we get a 7.2, there's some damage. When Honduras gets a 7.2, it's level. It's devastation, because we understand there's going to be an earthquake.
Build for it.
And we build for it, and we don't go, how can you stop an earthquake?
Right.
We go, there's going to be an earthquake, and we're going to build for it. And we build for it, we mitigate quite a bit.
Well, that's the premise of if it's predictable, it's preventable. You plan for it, absolutely. But there were no plans in anticipation of this windstorm coming in. It was clear now. The fire department didn't pre-deploy. If it had pre-deployed, they could have put the fire out early. The water tanks being empty, 40 years of vegetation that had never been managed properly, that became rocket fuel. And then on top of it, running out of water. You never run out of water. That's an unthinkable thing. So mistakes, misjudgments, mismanagement, incompetence at many, many levels.
That sounds like LA.
Home title lock. All right, listen up. This isn't some sort of far-off scam. This is happening right now. If you own a home, you need to hear this. In today's world, scammers are using AI to fake documents to steal home titles. One forged signature and a phony notary stamp, and suddenly your house isn't yours anymore. They'll drain your equity, even sell it out from under you. When's the last time you checked your home title? Yeah, that's what I thought. Never. So that's why I'm telling you about Home Title Lock. Use my promo code Adam at HometitleLock.com. Get a free title history report and free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. They'll monitor your home 24/7, send you urgent alerts if anything changes, and if fraud happens, they'll spend up to $1 million to fix it. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home and the equity in your home today, like I did at Home Title Lock. Do it now. Right, Dawson?
Go to HometitleLock.com and use promo code Adam. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code Adam.
You know the greatest thing you said, and I may screw this number up, but when you were running for mayor, you said, day one, I'm going to hire 5,000 sanitation workers, and we're going to clean up this trashy city. And I was like, that guy's got my vote, because I marvel at how much junk and graffiti, it's dirty. LA, California shouldn't be dirty.
No, it should be
we're
clean.
supposed to be the sequoias and the vistas and the ocean. We're not supposed to be trashy, and it kind of drives me.
Well, we lost our priorities. And
Right.
I think the problem is we lost our priorities, and not having the fire department fully funded and properly funded, which I did point out in my campaign how unfunded it was, has resulted in hundreds of thousands of people being impacted. So these decisions have real life consequences, in addition to 30 people dying.
Do you believe that there's going to be accountability at the ballot box? Are the people behind this irresponsible and reckless neglect, are they just going to be voted in for perpetuity, or do you think this is the bottom that people sort of talk about with some new regime change?
I hope that there's a rethinking of what's important for elected officials, namely competence, and a history of experience that would say this person has the ability to execute this job. We need to align elected officials with the job responsibilities if we really want this city or any part of this country to be effective and take care of people and give people an opportunity to be safe and to build their business and have their families and live in peace. So those are just basic things, but it's going to take competent leadership to do it.
You have any plans of being part of that competent leadership?
I'm thinking about it. Haven't made a decision yet.
Basically, with you and Karen Bass, we got to sort of crossroads, and we're like, do we want to keep going down the good vibes road, or do we want a pragmatic, boots on the ground experience, private sector, build a road? And we were just, we like the way it feels to vote for Karen Bass. Then everything burned down. Look, you can talk good vibes all you want. There's got to be water in the reservoirs.
Right.
We got to have a fire department that's capable of dealing with this. We don't want to live amongst homeless and garbage. Like, I just feel like we've finally been shaken into waking up and being a little bit more pragmatic. And I think you would win if you took another stab at the mayoral run.
Okay.
And I would like to be your traffic czar, because
What does that mean?
I got traffic thoughts. I've got a lot of traffic related thoughts. We do not have a traffic czar.
All right,
we have the worst traffic in the world.
Yeah.
And there's nobody with the title traffic czar.
All right.
Until now.
It's all yours. You got it.
Yeah. And I have other thoughts.
Get ready for it.
Listen, I need to get in charge of those electronic freeway signs. I need to get my hands on those.
Okay.
That's
They're
job
all yours.
one. Oh, I'm going to change this city. I'm going to change this place for the best.
See, life is coming back.
I know.
How about that?
I know.
Oh, Adam, come here. Let's just walk around this way, just for fun. There you go.
So they rebuilt this lickety-split for the kids, and they put a giant fire truck there.
Well, and multiple ones, and an ambulance. It has definitely caused a lot of consternation in the community. I think the city now has realized that, and they're trying to figure out how to change it out.
Yeah. I think they call it tone deaf is what. But also, the thing that I'm always interested in life about is it's not one guy who went rogue and said, I'm going to put a fire truck here. Right. It had to go through a committee. It had to pass through multiple levels. People had to stamp it. Like, I felt that way when UPS came up with the slogan, what can Brown do for you? Somebody should have raised their hand and went, I don't think we should be saying this. Like, but how many people had to sign off before they launched the campaign.
Well, a lot of people said, hey, this is a good idea.
Well, if they didn't endorse it, they certainly had to at least look the other way while the fire truck motif was okayed through their office. So yeah, that is a very LA thing. Sad, but at least it's kind of funny. Now what do they do? They're going to try to take them apart? And
I heard they're going to try to change the imagery here. They're working on that. I don't know what that takes, but I'm sure the city has a process to do that.
I'm sure it's going to cost us the taxpayers' money.
A few months.
Wow, that is funny. Yeah, this is an old building.
Yeah, it's an old building. It's tired.
When are they going to demo it?
We'll demo it when we start construction at the beginning of the year. I mean, one of the challenges we've had is even on this park, we said, please don't rebuild it yet. The play set, it was $1 million, believe it or not.
To rebuild this.
And I said, we're going to have to move all of it or tear it down.
Right.
It's not like there's a lot of people living here yet.
Right, so you said to the city, hold off.
Save the $1 million, let's reinvest it in the broader project. But, they chose for whatever reason, and I know it was in the best of spirits to get people, allow kids to come back and play and whatnot. But
now
I think you got to be thoughtful about how you're using money.
Well, I think that's another part of your commercial building process and any building process. There's just a lot of, well, no, paint the room and then put the carpet in. Don't put the carpet down and then paint.
Right.
We're gonna mess up the carpet.
There's a sequence.
There's a sequence of everything. And I noticed the sand pit was an empty aqueduct. Yeah. I don't like that motif either. So we just get rid of this.
I think this goes.
This all gonna go, and then this goes.
Can't make this stuff up.
You cannot.
Simply Safe. Well, let's prevent the crime before it happens. I mean, people go like, oh, I prevented this. Yeah, but you got your window busted and scared the crap out of everyone. I use Simply Safe because it actually stops crime before it starts. Imagine that, a little prevention, everybody. Their Active Guard outdoor protection has these AI cameras and real people watching your place. That's right. Real eyeballs. So if some creep is lurking around, the agents can talk to them, flip on the spotlight, even call the cops. Right then, not after your stuff is gone, before your stuff is gone. No contracts, no hidden fees, none of that nonsense. Over 4 million people trust Simply Safe. So it's not just me. I got plans that start at about $1 a day. You get 60 days to try it. Money back if you don't love it. It's Simply Safe, right, Dawson?
Head to simplysafe.com/Adam to claim your discount and make sure your home is safe this season. Don't wait. This offer won't last long. Keep your home, your family, and your peace of mind protected with Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
I just want to check this out. Hey guys, how you doing? It's probably like your kids. My kids played in these, and I remember there's no room. I remember one of my sons sliding and hitting his head into the wall as he was trying to go for a shot. They were just so the new gym, and that's why we want to redo everything.
Yeah, I got to have a
bigger,
little runoff
double-sided gyms.
Yeah,
a lot more flexibility for more sports.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, I know. When they have to put padding on stuff, it's a sign that there's not enough room.
That's right.
Like a goalpost from the 70s.
All right, we heading to the village? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I'll go walk around the village and tell us all about it.
Just to give you a little context of what we're doing out here, none of our buildings burnt down.
How many buildings?
How many individual buildings, Greg, do we have out here? 51.
51 businesses.
Yeah. And
facades.
so what we're doing now is we had some scorching at the end of the block here. You can walk up and see where the homes are. That's being cleaned off. But you notice the way the venting is, the materials, everything is non-combustible out here. And it held up brilliantly, along with obviously the efforts of the firefighters. But even what was non-combustible on that side of the street, we saved. So that whole block we saved, along with all the block down.
With your fire team and equipment, and obviously the place directly across.
That one we didn't. We weren't able to. But what we're doing now, we're going above and beyond sort of a call of duty and what science demands, and we're gutting each space out on the inside down to the studs. And then we're treating the studs, and then we're rebuilding. So we don't want anybody to have any concern when they come back to the village, play in the park, go to a restaurant, go shopping, that there's any kind of toxic contamination, health risk at all. So all of the residential that we have here, the apartments are going down to the studs are already down. We can walk into a space, you can
Sure, I'd love to see it.
and then all the dirt's coming out.
All the soil.
All the soil's coming out, bringing in fresh soil.
Even
Yep.
if it's
all of it.
unmolested.
Yep. But you know, it's the right thing to do because we want to assure everybody that this is a safe place to be.
You know, I hear, oh, you have your own fire department, but I don't really exactly know what that means in that. Do you have your own firehouse? Do you have your own
No.
trucks? Do
They're by contract.
And are they present all the time?
No, you call them in. So they're under contract.
They're under contract.
You call them in. These are private firefighters. Now, the interesting thing is 40% of the wildfires in the United States are fought by private firefighters. So there's a whole industry of private firefighters. And we contract with them, and they're on standby. Like for here, when the fire warnings came out that there was going to be winds, these catastrophic winds, our team mobilized, called in the private firefighters, and we were staged out here 2 days before the winds.
2 days before, they're out here with equipment and
Fire trucks, manpower. I think there was about 40 or 50 firefighters, water trucks, and retardant trucks.
And they're here and 2 days before.
Yep.
And Karen Bass is in Ghana 2 days before, planning, always planning, with a lot of ceremonial garb on, but always still her heart, fighting fires back in LA. So these guys just come in and, you know, work shifts, or you put them up in hotels and all that kind of stuff. They live here.
Yeah, they're around the clock.
They like bivouac here.
Yep.
And 2 days before, and then they're ready, like literally putting a perimeter on this place.
That's right. So when the fire was getting closer, then the retardants went on the buildings, get sprayed down.
Right.
Right.
Oh,
so there's a whole sequence.
Right, because the retardants aren't going to stay there forever. The wind's 80, 90, 100 miles an hour. So as the fire gets closer, you go, first thing, we're going to lay down the retardant on the roofs of the buildings.
Roofs and the sides of the buildings.
Right. And then we'll man the hoses and the trucks. And
Exactly.
do you have water here, or is it trucks?
We had trucks.
The tanker trucks.
We had tanker trucks.
All right. When you go around this place, as previously stated, it is just literally scorched earth in every direction.
Sadly.
And then this looks brand new. But yeah, show me what you're thinking about doing.
It's so eerie because literally everything is stopped in time on January 7th. So some of these retailers haven't started even removing their product yet, which they will. We're closed due to fire. So that was put up January 7th.
My house had the Christmas tree up for 6 months.
Yeah.
That's the rear sort of eerie tableau, is seeing, as I drive down Sunset the other day, I see some Christmas trees out in the street in the middle of July.
Yeah. Oh,
so they're just getting back and cleaning their place up.
Still Christmas lights on homes.
Right. Yeah, this is
So all
beautiful.
of these retailers are coming back. They'll all rebuild to the same standard, getting it down to the studs, treating the wood.
Metal stud, maybe in some of this occasion, right?
Some of the TIs, as you know, being a builder,
Tenant
you can
improvement.
see we've taken out about 18 inches of dirt.
Oh, so you're
in
doing
the
like
park.
a remediation with the soil.
Yep.
Thank you.
So being a fellow builder, you would understand sort of how odd this feels.
Yeah.
That we've built something.
Right.
We're now taking it apart.
Right.
And then we're rebuilding it. So every interior space in the village is going down to this level.
Right.
And then this all gets treated with a certain chemical by environmental engineers. And then the drywall goes back on and the improvements get rebuilt.
So you have these web joists, I guess I might call them, this engineered stuff.
Yeah.
Build the steel, hang the joist hangers off the steel, put a wood plate on top of the steel so you can get nailing for that, then joist hangers, then web joists, then plywood sheathing on top. This gets all brought down and exposed, treated, and then recovered with drywall. We're on a slab, looks like a polished slab.
All the flooring was removed.
This
This is raw concrete.
Oh, yeah, but it's weird. It looked like it got
You can see the
polished.
aggregate.
You can see the aggregate.
It probably
or
got
something.
scrubbed. We scrubbed it to get any kind of remnant of ash off the property.
And are we in retail space here?
This was a restaurant. It will come back out as a restaurant.
Oh, okay. And you're shooting for
We're
what
going to
date?
reopen next summer.
Next summer. Okay, so
summer.
about a year.
Yeah, because I want to reopen when the schools are reopened. Mm-hmm. We're going to get the park reopened. Mm-hmm. We're working to get all these street improvements we're going to put in with our own capital on both sides of the street to beautify the area, and reopen with a very clear message: the Palisades is back.
Do you have any explanation for Malibu? Like, I'm off PCH, and I drive that thing every day, and there's zero building. I don't see a pile. I don't see, they do the lumber dump. There's no lumber. There's nobody shooting elevations. There's just no footings being dug. There's no concrete trucks. It's just bare and no movement. And I'm like, we're 7 months in now. What's going on?
We've been out there in Malibu. We gave them the AI model. So they can process the plank check queries, so they have the benefit of what we created, and we're always out there, to support them. We lost a home in Malibu also. Most of our neighbors out of Malibu have sold. They're not rebuilding. So I think part of this process is people are just trying to decide what to do.
And all the lots that are for sale around here in the Palisades, there's a lot of conspiracy theories, and there's a lot of Newsom wants to build low-cost housing. There's a lot of these things are being gathered up by BlackRock. I don't know what to, I don't know.
See that.
You're saying there's people that are just saying, look, I'm old enough, I can't go through this process again, and so I'm just going to move to Arizona and I'll just sell my lot. And then there's others that are going to rebuild.
Right. I think the rebuilding could certainly go quicker if we cut more of the red tape, but there is some momentum. We're putting together a building alliance, we being Steadfast, and that's a bunch of builders who are all going to have pre-approved plans, designs to make it very easy for homeowners to build, to start getting some, you got to get that flywheel going, right? And a big part of this, Adam, and why the village is important is it gives people hope that they are coming back. So if they rebuild, there's going to be more here than just their home. They can have a sense of community.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing about, my place miraculously did not burn in a sea of destruction, but somehow it made it. But you don't want to go back when none of the restaurants are open and the roads are blocked and the laundromat's closed. Actually, no one uses a laundromat. Fluff and fold.
You're aging yourself.
Fluff and fold. Fluff and fold. Dry cleaner. Sorry, the masseuse is not there, and I can't get a good cuticle push. All right, so that's what I meant to say.
I don't even know what a cuticle push is, but I don't need to know. It's okay.
You Hollywood
I'll live
guys.
without it. I'll live without knowing.
When you get a pedicure, they give you.
I don't want to know.
When you get I'm getting you a pedicure.
I don't want to know.
You're getting a pedicure. I'm going to be the pedicure czar.
Traffic and pedicure.
Traffic and pedicures, and I'm going to demand we get a damn Hungarian restaurant somewhere in this city.
All right,
I love
there you go.
Hungarian food.
Let's walk out and get some fresh air.
Let's get some fresh air.
Morgan and Morgan, don't you know? Well, let's get real for a minute. Everyone talks about summer being sunshine and backyard barbecues, but you know as well as I do, summer's also prime time for accidents. That's right, a little slip and fall by the pool. Maybe got rear-ended on the way to the beach. That's why you need to know about Morgan and Morgan. These guys are good guys. Well, you see their commercials everywhere. They're big, and they're big for a reason, because they get results. They brought in more than 25 billion. That's billion with a B for clients just like you. I'm talking real stories. I mean, one guy got offered 500 grand for his injury, ended up with $29 million thanks to Morgan and Morgan. And that's why They're America's largest injury law firm. It's Morgan & Morgan. Right, Dawson?
Hiring the wrong firm could be disastrous. Hiring the right firm could substantially increase your settlement. With Morgan & Morgan, it's easy to get started, and their fee is free unless they win. Just visit forthepeople.com/Adam or dial #law #529. That's forthepeople.com/Adam or dial #law #529. This is a paid advertisement.
So the fire all the way up to just the whole perimeter, right?
This is all the Alphabet Street. So all of this is gone as far as the eye can see. All the homes are destroyed.
Right.
All the way up to the Chautauqua Rim. Yeah.
Right.
And all the way up the hill.
So your guys would have been, and obviously it's a metal roof here, slate roof.
Yeah.
Probably a composite slate roof, but still
They
looks like a slate roof.
Yeah.
Fire rated, I'm
And
sure.
you notice you don't see any side vents in any of the buildings.
Right.
And that's what people have to really think about as they're rebuilding now.
The biggest problem, or one of the bigger problems, was the attic and the dormers and everything up there. The eaves, they're vented. You have to vent your roof, and the stuff gets sucked into the vent. And now all of a sudden, instead of embers hitting stucco and glass and sheet metal, they're now inside of the framed attic.
Right, because most of the homes burned from the inside out.
Right.
So even up at I've got an office up here, and one of the important things of the fire crew that we had out here, they stayed out here for a couple of weeks. Because a lot of the buildings in the Palisades burned down days after the fire was out.
Oh, really?
Because embers were caught in the buildings and nobody knew it.
Right.
So even on you can see where that area is torn off up there. There was an ember embedded in there that didn't show itself until about 4 days later.
Really?
It started smoking. The team ran to it, pulled off the siding, and got it out.
During these fires, where are you physically? Like, you're not holding a hose, but you're obviously monitoring this pretty clearly, right?
We had a senior executive that was in the city and county command post with fire and police, and I was on the phone with him hourly. We were evacuated also. We live in Brentwood. We were also evacuated.
Oh, okay.
We weren't in the area, but we were very close communication. And frankly, our mission was do whatever we have to do to protect our property and everybody around us, and that's what we tried to do.
So you guys are setting up a perimeter, you're putting the fire retardant material down, and stuff like this is, I'm assuming would have been vulnerable if the flames got close enough.
But here's a real life example. My daughter's house, we had fire retardant that we put on it. The problem was they ran out of water. And so that's when I got the call late that night, around 9:30 that night, that my daughter's home's on fire, because literally the firefighters were out there and it just ran out.
So you had your guys go to your daughter,
retardant.
And
But
she's how far from here?
Oh, 3 blocks.
Oh, 3 blocks. Okay, their home was 3 blocks from here. Is she going to rebuild?
Yeah. So retardant alone doesn't do it. Right? You have to have the retardant, you have to have the water.
Right.
All of these things have to be played out together.
Have to work in union together. And especially, I would imagine, retardant with the 100-mile-an-hour winds, not going to last forever.
Right.
Let's go yell at these guys. You want to do that? I remember when you were on a construction site, some guy'd come up and go, "We got a dime holding up $1 here. Let's go now."
Let's go. Let you do that. I'll go let you do that.
This guy's been eyeballing me the entire time, so I want him out.
He's going to put you in that vault. That holds the Christmas tree. So we're actually going to celebrate Christmas out here. Even though we won't be open, we're going to do our annual menorah lighting, and we're doing our annual tree lighting out here.
You built a concrete pad 4 feet deep so you could mount a giant Christmas tree on it.
Yes, sir. That's what we do.
That is awesome.
You should see the size of the one at the Grove for that tree. That tree's 125 feet. This tree's only about 50 feet. And fortunately, the tree came down 2 days before the fire.
Oh, right, because that could have been an issue
it would have been a disaster.
But that is interesting.
Yeah.
And you
the
say
whole building could have gone from at that point.
That ember, you say, was around 4 days after the fire.
Right. And I was up here. I got back up here. They finally let me back in, and that thing just took off. I was out here watching it and saw the team scramble.
Well, you're a testament to
Let's go look across
preparation.
the street real quick.
Let's do
and
that.
then we can let you go.
Seriously, I want that guy fired.
These are the guys that can do it.
That's why I'm talking to them. I know you don't want to get your hands dirty.
I'm nice to everybody.
Yeah, in front of the camera, behind the camera, it's a whole new Rick.
No, I'm a puppy
whole
dog.
different Rick.
Kevin, aren't I a puppy dog on a job site?
Well, he's scared he's going to get fired.
Aren't I a puppy dog on the job site? He said off camera I'm not a puppy dog.
You are.
Thank you.
Well, you just kept your job. You just kept your job. Yeah, this is really impressive.
Isn't it wild? It's
Yeah.
it's actually tough to get my head around because it's still so heartbreaking when you come up here or Malibu, any of these places.
That guy back there, Mike, he paid you the ultimate compliment in a quiet way, which is we did a thing at the Sagebrush Cantina a week ago or something, and
Yeah.
he got there before me, and he walked across the street, and he said, you know, across the street there's this magnificent mall with it's beautiful. And he goes, I'll bet that's Rick Caruso's place because it looks so good.
Aw.
And he didn't know it was your place, and I didn't know it was your place either. He just said, I've seen the
that's
way it's
nice.
laid out. It's definitely a Caruso place. And I thought those are the best
That's
kind
cool.
of compliments,
oh,
right?
Absolutely. So we were able to save all of this
So
and all the way down the block. And the beauty of that is that this now is the heart of the downtown that gets rebuilt.
right. How do you decide when it's time to allocate, your guys to someone else's stuff?
It's when resources were available, and fortunately we had enough equipment. Listen, our guys, the guy that heads it up, a guy named Banyan Hutter, he overplans for everything. So he had a lot of equipment up here, and we put it to good use.
Is it not to get too granular, but does the insurance, is it much easier to get insured when you have a fire department on call?
1,000%.
So some of it's not all just, I'm going to put out a bunch of money and, see if I'll ever use it.
It's smart business.
It's business.
Smart business.
So it's better to have a fire department on retainer.
That's right, because when we go back out for reinsurance, which we just did, what we tell the insurance companies, and they acknowledge it, we are a good risk.
Right.
We manage the downside to our properties, whether it's earthquake, whether it's flood, whether it's fire.
And does it work in such a way when you have a fire department on retainer that, obviously during certain months or rainy season or something like that, you pay them less and you pay them more during the summer months, or is it just a flat rate?
It's a flat rate.
For the year?
Yeah.
And ultimately,
They're on call.
you save more in insurance than you would on their flat rate.
Hey, we saved hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Is what we saved. And we go to our insurance company and say, because we were prepared, we saved you hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
You didn't have to pay out.
Right.
And they acknowledge it.
So now if we could just get the city of LA to think pragmatically like Rick Caruso, when is the next election? Is it June? Oh, is it?
Hey guys!
I think they're saying hi to me, Rick.
I didn't hear Adam. Did anybody
I
hear
heard-
the word Adam? I didn't hear the word Adam.
I heard Caruso, but a lot of those guys are opera fans.
I pay those guys a lot to go around and do that. They're part of the fire team.
It's all part of the puppy dog image he works so hard to maintain while the cameras are rolling.
Yeah.
So June, less than a year away.
Yeah, less
All
than a
right.
year.
Well, all right. Cuticle czar.
Yep.
Traffic czar.
Hungarian
I
restaurant.
want input on that. I'm not saying I need to
got
be the
it.
czar of goulash, but I want some input. That's all. All right.
Everybody's going to have great looking cuticles in the city of LA.
And a
our
pot
motto.
full of chicken paprikash.
Okay.
Thanks, Rick. That was
Great being with you.
great to talk
Thanks,
to you.
Adam. Appreciate it.
All right. That was easy.
That was fun, too.
I have no skills except for maybe well-crafted dick jokes. That's about all I'm good at.
Sam Tripoli is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Sam's got his third Crowdwork special that's going to be dropping on YouTube September 20th, by the way, live from Kansas City. So you can check that out, coming out soon. Sam's stuff's done very nicely. on YouTube.
Thank you.
Also, Mayhem over here. And by the way, podcast Tinfoil Hat, of course, dates up as well. And Mayhem's got some news. What do you
Yeah, got some
Mayhem?
news. This is setting the internet on fire. A Phillies fan chases down, takes a ball from a kid after a confrontation about Harrison Bader's home run.
Yeah, everyone, boy, the internet is so weird.
Yeah, I love the internet. It'll just every once in a while turn on one particular Karen.
Yeah, I'll tell you who's over the moon about this. The Polish executive stole that hat from that
Oh,
guy.
he got fired.
I know, but he's still over the moon about this predicament.
Yeah.
It's like somebody bumped me off the leaderboard. Yeah, go get her.
Yeah, 100%.
That couple who got caught cheating at the concert, who was kissing up on the jumbotron, they're happy for the Polish guy who came in. You know, if you're lucky. If you're lucky and you're the Polish guy who stole the hat, this bitch comes in the following morning. You don't have to suffer for 7 days.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They moved on. The mob has moved on.
So he hits a homer, and the dad runs over.
And it plunks right in the chair in front of her. The dad runs over, grabs it, runs back to
and
his
he's
kid.
in the right. She's in the wrong at this moment.
He gives it to his kid, and then she grabs his shoulder, and she's
in the
surprised. Yeah, she's in the wrong, and he does something hit the ground. All right, let's pause it for a second. The kid's, 9 or 10. The rule, as best I can tell, is if the ball makes it to the ground, it's anyone's ball.
It's anyone's game. She dropped it.
It's an NFL Sunday. Ball popped out on the punt return.
Yeah.
It's not like, well, it was on our side of the field. It's ball on the ground.
Whoever gets it.
Now, you catch the ball in your hat, and some guy comes around and grabs it out of your hat. That's taking your ball.
That's wrong.
If it hits the ground, theoretically, once it hits the stadium floor, somebody from outside of the stadium could walk in and pull it off the ground, and it's still their ball.
That is the rule.
So there's no proximity
It's
rule.
all outlined in the court case of Finders v. Keepers.
That's right. Once it hits the ground. So he goes over and he gets it for his kid, and he gives it to his kid, and then she does the Karen move where she runs over and gets him all hopped up, and he's hugging his kid, and his kid's happy, and then they give the ball back, right?
The problem here is situational awareness. If he was scanning the crowd, he would have recognized her from her hair cunt.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
She's got 101 Dalmatians. She's got a home.
She's a Carolla DeVille haircut.
She's all worried. Now, one thing I will say about her.
No, wait, let's stop. Look,
Give the
he
ball back.
gave it back to her.
Okay,
How?
that's where he's wrong. So she goes, and there's multiple angles of this. She's like, I want to give it to my kid. Okay, so it's not really an adult wanting to hold the ball. She wanted to give it to her kid. So I understand that, but the rules are, if it hits the ground, anyone could grab it. He should not have gave her back the ball.
No.
Now, it works out for them because we got this new thing where, like, if you rob a kid of a ball, the team has him come back and meet and get a bat and all that stuff.
I was embarrassed to say that if I were him, I would have given her the ball back just because I'm very much like, just get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't even give a shit. And by the way, it's a middle of the season home run ball. It's worth $20. Like, get the fuck, who cares?
Yeah.
But she's horrible. But his thing is he is getting fragged now for giving the ball back, but also for having a spasm.
He got
He got the vapors. Like, we watch his tape again. He literally goes into convulsions.
Yeah.
He's
like,
in
like
he's in a public
a woman
space.
seen a mouse.
Yeah, like in a 50s cartoon. He walks back, gives it to his son. He's hugging the son. She grabs him, and he does a weird triple fist which is weird.
Effeminate gesture I've ever seen on a man.
He had like an epileptic seizure, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And his look is like, now, to be fair to him, she's invading quite a bit of his
and
space.
she is in his face.
Yeah.
And she's got the lean.
This might have something to do with what he gets at home, too. He's having Vietnam flashbacks. He's like, even here I'm getting yelled at by Karen.
I can't go anywhere.
I took the boy to get away from the violent shrew for 3 hours, and I'm getting attacked by this one?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, too, I mean, she's the trifecta. Like, if she, like, she's what? A woman, a lesbian, and Jewish, it's like a hate crime to even touch her.
Yeah, that's so
she's
true.
Jewish.
I wouldn't doubt it. But
Philadelphia?
if you go back, so later on they interview the kids and the dad, and the kids give him kind of shit.
The dad.
Yeah, they're like, why the fuck did you give it? And even though it worked out even better for them because they got more stuff, balls and bats and all that stuff.
Goodie
They're still
bag.
like, Dad, you're such a pussy, dude.
Yeah, a little bit. But also, too, man, this is a society we live in because if he were to do something, hey, start yelling and cussing, the law is not, maybe technically the law is on your side, but not really. A woman.
It's the internet, and they have certain rules, and they would have just laid into them.
Yeah. And they have. Hell, we are.
Yeah, it's weird because he had the wherewithal to walk 18 feet and go scramble for the ball, which is like a proactive dude.
Right.
Like, if I was in the stands and the ball landed 20 feet away, I'd just be like, I'm not going to fucking dive in a bunch of
I
peanut
would just
husk
be like,
over there.
the ball.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, well, it didn't hit us. But he had this sort of
Yeah,
where he was proactive enough to rush across, grab it, and then when she saw him, he turned into this sort of. He's turned into. There was a movie called. There's a TV show called Lost in Space, and they had that cowardly gay guy. So I was like, "We're gonna get into trouble." He turned into that guy.
He turned into CP3O.
Right. Yeah, that's who he is.
R2D2, we're in trouble.
I thought you guys were going Danger Will Robinson.
Now, can we argue this? Here's, as human beings, this is what we react to, right? It's not about the ball. It's about her, and we got a little peek behind the curtain into who this bitch is.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could see her at the supermarket doing some version of this, in the parking lot doing another version of this. Sir, excuse you, sir. You know, like, also she's pissed off, and that's the wrong posture to have. You can go over there and go, my son has special needs, and I promised him a ball, and do you think, but she's like going in there to settle his hash, and he didn't do anything.
Yes. Well, it gets into what you always talk about, girl speak, right? Girl thinking. And it's just like she thinks because it was near her, that's her ball. And it's like, this is the jungle, bitch. It's like the survival of the fittest. But the biggest thing is, like, I guarantee your husband's like, oh, now you know my world.
Yeah.
Now you know my fucking world.
All right. So what happened to her? Did she get fired? Did she get anything?
There's not. I mean, look, we're gonna pile on until she does get fired.
I just think it's also stupid. This isn't the same thing with the hat. It's not the same thing. The hat was given to the kid, and the guy grabs it from the kid.
That's different.
That's totally different.
That shows a lack of character.
This is just like survival of the fittest, and obviously she's the fittest by getting in this guy's face.
You're right.
And
she's entitled.
Prison.
She punked him for it.
I'm always jealous of these people. I would never get up and go do that.
I wouldn't either, dude.
I'd just be jealous.
There's no winning there, man. I would have yelled at that lady and probably went to jail.
All right,
Floyd Mayweather's going to fight Mike Tyson. I said it.
Does anyone want to see?
You're damn right. I want to see this retirement home battle. It's going to be a badass fight.
It's going to be crazy. I mean, obviously, Mayweather has had what they've said, some financial problems with the IRS and taxes. And he saw how big the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight was. So he's like, I'll do that too. I'll do an exhibition. And they'll probably talk to each other. Let's not hurt each other. Let's just get out of this.
They'll have a nice sparring. That's
They'll have a nice sparring. Yeah. People tune in because it's Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. And it's like, I'm happy they're getting their money, dude. I'm glad Mike Tyson.
The casuals will love it. Yeah.
Did you ever check out his one-man show?
Oh, yeah, of course.
It was amazing, dude. And when he puts up the number of how much money he lost, which was like $410 million, and it's like...
You could feel the hate for Don King. Yeah. Bro. He's like...
But if, like, you could either be like, have a little money... or be that Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson broke, where you just go 400 mil in the hole, and you're just buying everything, and nobody cares. You're just like, I'll take the Elephant Man skeleton. You're like, got money? I'm Michael Jackson. Just give it to him. Just give it to him, dude. I mean, you're buying white tigers. You don't give a shit, dude, when you're that deep in the hole.
And also, see, circling back to what we were talking about before, which is... the Don Kings of the world got the Mike Tysons because they convinced them they were black and they were their brother and they knew their pain, and you're not going to let some Jewish guy handle this because I know I'm from the streets. I know who you are. And then the black guy proceeds to rip off that guy.
Every time.
And what I want to say to the black citizen is like, okay, you're going to get Maxine Waters in there because she's black and she feels you, and all she does is get rich and do whatever the fuck she wants, and you never get it further ahead. Get a Jewish guy who actually does his job and gives a shit. And stop worrying about who he looks like or what you look like. That fucking person's going to rip you off and fuck you over.
Yep.
They're never going to do anything. And you guys keep voting for these people like they're going to do something for them. It'd be like me voting for Gavin Newsom going, I'm heterosexual. I'm over 6 foot. I'm white.
Yeah.
I like that guy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's going to help
Identity
me. It's like he's not
politics.
doing anything for you.
All the time, and you always see it. There's some black entertainer comes in, has a bunch of white guys behind him, and then the white guys disappear. It's all black, and then the wheels fall off.
Yeah,
I always said this, man. It's like the real G's are the ones who keep people around that were there when they were broke. Like, because those people were with you when you had nothing. And it's like, I get it. There's certain people might have certain ideas, but to get rid of all your crew for a whole new crew that only knows you when you're rich, I think that sets you up for a lot of problems.
Agreed. All right. So, wait a minute. What story was this?
Oh, this is Mike Tyson.
Oh, Tyson.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Look, it's going to work. It's going to happen every time. People go, come on, who cares? It's amateur hour. It's a circus. It's a circus. I'm not buying into this.
Hell no,
and then he just keeps trickling. And then some point 4 months from now, you're driving to your buddy's house speeding. We're going to miss the prelims.
Yeah.
Everyone's
That's what
chipped in
happens.
$40. We got the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
It's like somehow you went from arms folded to now, come on, never again, to sucked into this, and now watching
Same thing
10
happened
other
with
people.
the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight.
I was over.
Yeah, me too.
I was
We were
at
here
people's house
screaming.
with 400 people watching
Something's
that
gonna
thing.
happen at the presser where
Right.
their crew and his crew will go
yeah.
at it. Everyone's like, it's real blood, dog.
Right.
It's really bad blood.
Yeah, and we'll get
That's cool.
sucked in. They know it. That's how it works.
Well, Sam, I don't know if you're looking for a new opener, but Amanda Knox makes fun of her Italian murder case in a new stand-up routine.
Oh,
I think we got some video.
all right. Let's.
She is hot. I can fix her.
Fix her.
Would.
There is this really good Hulu series that's out now called The Twisted Tale of Amanda Knox. Forewarning, it is intense. Like, you know your 20s were rough when people want to binge watch them, you know? You know, I've been executive producing this thing for 4 years, which, incidentally, is the same amount of time that I spent in prison.
I would.
Yeah.
I haven't played Tacoma Comedy Club not that long
I
ago.
love that place.
I agree.
It's a great club.
Here's a thing. It's look. As long as we're going all in racism on this show, if you watch not this doc, but the one they made before it, or whatever the doc is, in that doc, they're in some small town out of Puttanesca, Italy, or something, and it's a bunch of chicks and like Italian dudes and something, and then out of nowhere, like one scary black guy like shows up to like hang out and party. This guy looks like the guy stabbed the chick on the train,
Oh,
you know?
yeah,
and
that's
he just
so
like
tragic.
shows up, and it's a bunch of college age like white girls, and then 5 minutes later they find the body stabbed 100 times, and they're like, well, we got the guy with the criminal record who doesn't need to be here, and he just kind of showed up. But don't worry about him. Let's focus on this
cute young girl.
19-year-old chick who's got no beef with the dead chick. And it's like, what are the chances? Why not the guy with the criminal history, the brother, the dicey criminal guy who's in this mix? The rest are just college girls and guys who wanted to party with the college girls.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, but they're like, ignore that guy.
Yeah. Ignore Captain Obvious.
I mean, you guys can
Too
look. You
easy.
can look it up and see if you find that guy. But you're just watching the doc, going. First off, I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I'd go with the guy with the criminal record, who's
Yeah.
the brother who rolled into town.
He's plus 500.
right.
No, he's minus 500.
He's
That's when
minus
you're having
500.
yeah, he's minus 500.
The other one they did was that it was the same one with the Chandra Levy. Chandra Levy was Gary Condit's worked in his office, and he was a congressman or something, and she went jogging at that park in DC, right? And she goes jogging in this park in DC, and gets pulled off the trail and raped and murdered in the bushes, right? And they're trying to pin it on Gary Condit, right? Like the congressman, because he was having an affair and they found out or whatever. They're trying to say he did it, right? And at some point, the DA from that area of D.C., they found a guy who was in prison for pulling women who were wearing earphones at the time, pulling them jogging. His MO was he'd pull them off the trail and rape them in the bushes and try to kill them. And they caught him and they put him in prison. And so people are like, that might be your guy who did this in the same park because his MO is pulling jogging chicks off the trail and raping them in the bushes. And the DA was like, don't even bother looking at that guy. We're focused on Gary Condit. It's like, maybe just a glimpse at where that guy was and if his DNA matches up. Let's just put it on the table of possibilities that the guy's currently incarcerated for pulling this chick off the trail in the same park and right here in the bushes.
A DA is a public-facing job, so they want this big kind of numbers.
I get it, but leave your mind open to the possibility that maybe this guy did it.
I understand.
And guess what? That guy did it.
Well, I tweeted this yesterday. I'm like, if you want to live in a proper society, kill political correctness. Kill it, man, because that allows people to act out of pocket, not get called out on their bullshit. I don't care what happened to you in the past. I don't care how tragic it was. Show me a group, I'll show you a tragedy. It's like this. It just allows people to act out of pocket because people aren't afraid. People are afraid to call them out because they'll be called racist or sexist or anti-Semitic or whatever it is. And it's just like total bullshit. When you get to the point where those words don't affect you, that's the freaking place you can get to. And it's just ridiculous. It's like some fucking scumbag started a GoFundMe for the guy that stabbed a chick on the bus. Like, what low vibrational piece of shit demon are you where you think this guy needs help?
Yeah.
When you watch him, he just like looks at her, sit down, pulls out the knife, opens it, and just goes, what? Like, why do you want to save this guy?
I'm getting to that now, But Amanda Knox is doing stand-up now, and she's going to get booked at the mothership because Joe Rogan says she's a murderer.
She wants to open for me.
I don't, again, the chances of that chick from Spokane or wherever she was from with zero criminal history, like you go, that's the one who gored the roommate. And they always do, but they go back and they go like, well, they saw her hugging her boyfriend at the police scene. It's like, okay, doesn't make you a murderer.
How people react to trauma.
I know.
People use that as a way, but we all react. When I get really nervous, I start laughing.
But also, it wasn't, as I understand, a lady she really knew, right? It wasn't her best friend or anything.
No,
it was just
like
somebody died. Oh, okay.
That's just the least likely person to kill that person. I don't know what you have to do as like a police force to go, this is who, and no one raises their hand and goes, really? The fucking cute.
How about when you bring her home to your parents? I started dating a new chick.
Yeah.
A lot of baggage.
Who did the killing? That's the question, Andrew. You can look it up. I swear to God, it was like black guy with a record like rolls into Puskaneska town, and no one says, well, maybe that's a guy we should take some looking at. And that was a part about the first one.
We should call out all these people. I don't care what color, religion, or sex, or sexual orientation you are.
Well, they're not. See, what they're not doing. What they're doing is something a little bit different. It's part of it is to sort of racially whatever, but the other part of it is to get some pelts. Like that's
what he was saying. Yeah,
you're the DA and you got the Duke lacrosse kids, and you're like, that's going to look good. I'm going to elevate these kids. I'm going to get elevated by taking innocent 19-year-olds and ruining their life.
Yep.
Even though I have the information.
Listen, but I became victim to it in Orange County. Okay, there was a lady who just wanted to be some big DA, and I got jammed up.
Yeah. I can't believe it can't be that. Nobody thinks it might be that guy. Sweaty dude. Sweaty dude?
So what was the full story? He also had a criminal history, as I remember the thing as well, which is like, and was big and strong and looked like he could handle stabbing somebody. Yeah. But you went with the waif model with no beef.
Yeah.
That just seems like a bizarre piece of fucking police.
Dude, Europe is lost, man. They don't know if they're coming or going anymore. Marxism has destroyed that whole continent.
So this guy's now in prison in Italy, I'm guessing, for, forever. And I don't even know. It had to be like a weird slow motion nightmare for her. Like,
Yeah, everyone thinks you're guilty.
I know. And then there was so much of the sort of tabloid journalism where they made it very sexual, and she was constantly being assaulted in the press. It was something fun for that small town to get into.
But also, anything you did wrong in the past, they use as an indicator of your character. Like, you could have had like a bad streak in your life where you made some mistakes and then you clean up, and they're like, but she used to do this. She used to be a stripper. And you're like, well, that doesn't lead to murder.
Yeah.
She just was like desperate for money and had bad, low self-esteem. So it's just like, it's crazy how these things work out, and you just catch the wrong guy at the wrong time.
So on October 7th, days before Kircher's murder, that guy was arrested in Milan after breaking into a nursery school. He was found by police with an 11-inch knife, and it was taken out of the school. So basically, he broke into somewhere and he had a knife.
Not just anywhere, a kid's school.
Right. I am saying then he rolled into town and was partying with you guys. So maybe I'm just saying, if Charles Manson rolled in and was partying with the ladies and then someone got stabbed, why are you arresting the 19-year-old wave model? Why don't you take a look at Charlie over here? And when you watch the early doc, you're like, oh, that guy did it. He's the criminal who came into town.
Yeah, well, it's just political correctness just ruins the way they look at the world, and it's idealism. It's like how they look at it. It's not reality. It's like this ideology that it's just ridiculous.
All right, well, you guys want to get darker? Here's a haunting video. Show a homeless ex-con allegedly killing.
I can't watch that.
I don't want to watch it,
especially when she's so hot. It's like we lost a hot one.
It's just a shame, yeah.
That could be two life terms for taking out our gene pool is already polluted. Now you take out somebody we brought in. That's like a first round draft pick.
Ukraine and got away from the war there, only to be stabbed to death in America.
That's a Len Bias type stabbing.
But you know what? When you walk in, who am I not sitting by? Guy with crazy energy? Dude, I'm moving way to the back or I'm moving way to the front.
Protect yourself at all times.
Dude, political correctness should go out the fucking door. And when you're analyzing your situation, where are the predators? Where are the threats? I wouldn't have sat anywhere near, and I'm not victim blaming her. She has a right to sit wherever she wants, but my daughter, I'll be like, if someone gives you Jeepers Creepers, trust your instincts and get the fuck away from them.
Yeah, I feel that way with publicists, but I know what you're saying. It's a sad testimonial, but there's been so many instances of like black men just cold cocking or stabbing or just coming up from behind and just sucker punching that, no, I would not feel comfortable in front of that young black man, like on the subway. 99% chance he didn't do anything. But the problem is it got ruined by the internet and too many people coming up behind people and sucker punching them that look like that
stereotypes
guy.
Are true for a reason, dude. And it's just the way it is. And when it comes to your life, you can be like, I'm going to think politically correct. Nope. I remember there's a funny story I heard one time about these kids, these college kids, white kids. They just wanted to go, they're like, we're going to go buy drugs. And they go into the hood and they're like, I believe everybody. I love everybody. I don't judge it. And they got totally robbed by at gunpoint by their drug dealer. It's like all those retards who like go, I'm going to backpack through this Middle Eastern country.
Just thinking about that. Man. I know. Like, go to fucking hit the Muir Trail, man.
Yeah, backpack through Florida. You got a safer chance than the Middle East.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to be in Albuquerque, New Mexico, September 26th, doing the Chemo Theater, and then the 27th, Flagstaff, Arizona, at the Orpheum Theater. And you go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. I'm going to Vegas and Flappers and everywhere else. Sam's got his show at the Comedy Store. That'll be tonight. And also live shows in Chicago and Ventura County, the podcast Tinfoil Hat, the special coming out on YouTube on the 20th, I think it is, if I got that right. What do you got, Mayhem?
No, the Mayhem show's on YouTube. I probably tweeted about it.
So, till next time, I'm Crow for Sam Tripoli and Mayhem
Thanks
Miller.
for having me.
Sam,
Barbecue.
Mahalo.
Adam, gone are the days of honor student bumper stickers. I saw one the other day that said, proud parent of a Woodbrook student who cares. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
You know, it's so funny. Leisha Krause in studio. I'd plug her thing, but I don't have her bio on
That's
here.
okay. You know, I don't do much.
It's come up
It's like
a
this
couple
show,
times.
campus speeches.
I was at a Starbucks in Texas, and the big sign is how they practice kindness. And I just thought, first off, what are we spackling over for in our society? Like kind. And also, I don't need that relationship with the guy behind the counter at Starbucks. I just need my coffee, and then I give you the money, and then I leave, and then you can be kind at home to your kids or your puppy.
It's important to be kind to people, but like, you know,
Whoa.
like most veterans that served in World War II would look cooler on a sign.
Stop. You can stop talking the third time I say stop talking. You don't have to be kind to people. You have to treat people with a decorum. You know what I mean? Like
Respect.
Somebody extends their hand, you shake the hand. You know, when you walk up to somebody, you don't walk, even if you're in a little bit of a tizzy, you have to say to them, you know, excuse me, where's security at this? You can't run up and go, hey, bitch, where's security? I'm fucking late. You know, but you don't have to keep, it's not something you need to remind yourself to do. It's just life.
It should be innate.
You say yes, you say thank you, you say please, you ask a question, you say thanks for that, a little back and forth. It's just it's part of society and being a human. And
It shouldn't override common sense. Like,
No.
we shouldn't be like, we gotta be so kind. We gotta go bend over backwards for this thing that makes no sense.
Well, so here's the thing. I would much rather have a neighbor who was fair and had a lot of character and was a balanced person than a kind person, because kind people, it's a facade.
Yes.
I want
No,
character.
I'd say nice is a facade. When people are like, oh, they're nice. I think kindness is like innate.
Well, kindness is a little more in your bone marrow than nice,
Than
and I
nice.
agree. But we're taking kind and we're beating the shit out of it now because we're putting it. We don't need it at a coffee place. Is what I'm saying.
I think actually it's like circling back to what you guys were kind of talking about before the break was like, it's what the left uses as a banging over your head word.
Yes.
That if you therefore are like, hey, I don't want a transgender person reading to my kid's kindergarten class, they're like, you're so unkind.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
their
so stupid.
version of kind is taking
Tolerance.
most of your money from you and giving it to people who are going to squander it.
100%.
Right, and I'm like, I don't feel like that's kind to anybody,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
forget about much less me.
Brutal to me, dude.
All right, we got Trump.
Well, you know, it's
doing
also real
something here.
quick. It's just like I'm teaching my kids to read. It's driving me nuts. I can barely read myself, and now I'm trying to teach them to read. Why does another man dressed like a truck stop hooker want to read to other people's kids? That sounds absolutely
flag.
painful to me.
No,
flag.
he doesn't. Listen, he's doing it to piss you off,
Yeah,
not for
exactly,
any other
exactly,
reason. There's no.
exactly.
I've said this a million times. Who the fuck wants to go to a public library on a Saturday and read to 5-year-olds? Like, that sounds like the worst Saturday. I want to watch college football and get drunk.
Yeah.
So I don't want to fucking put on a tutu and go to the library. And he's only doing it because, well, they're all pissed at their dad.
Yeah,
they hate their dad,
100%.
and they're also, a lot of them got molested.
Probably by
they're
their
all,
uncle. Probably
right,
by their
so they're all
uncle.
scrambled. All right, what do you got, Alicia Krause?
We do have video here. So Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying that she might return to politics at some point, but right now she's stepping back. She did an 11-minute Facebook Live video talking about all of her issues with the GOP and Donald Trump. You've seen the meme, though, about how people are saying that Trump in this video is kind of dressing like Zoran Mamdani after hanging out with him for 30 minutes. It's hilarious. And so So Trump, after saying on Truth Social that she was a traitor, then also thanked her for her service. This sounds like he sounds like a crazy ex. Like, she was the worst, but man, I miss her. So let's watch Donald talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene here.
Before you had a fight with Elon Musk and you guys were able to work it out.
No, I get along with everybody.
We see the same thing happening between you and some.
Sure, why not? I mean, I get along with everybody.
He's such a.
Can we do this? Can they work out Marine One, the helicopter? Like
So it's not in the
how
background?
much warming up do those jet engines need? Like, can't we fire those things after the press? It's always that crazy jet sound in the background. And I'm like, I'm not a mechanic, but I do know stuff about stuff. Like, those things need 5 minutes of warm-up time. You could fire them after the news guys put the boom mic down and headed back
And then,
in.
and then the president's walking up.
You start
Yeah,
walking
yeah,
up,
yeah.
they'll fire it up. And if he's got to sit there and drink a Yoo-Hoo for 5 minutes, then like, so
Diet
be it.
Coke.
But we won't have this crazy jet sound
Do you think
behind
it's a security
everything.
reason? It must be like a security reason, or sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes like I think that part of the reason why the press gathers there is because it's not a planned presser. Like when he goes into the,
It's
the
also a
the-
nice picture to get on that.
yeah, for sure. But I think that lots of times, like Biden, for example, would always walk by and like wave at him and
Which
be like, "I don't
Biden?
got time."
Which of the 8 Bidens are you talking about?
the
I think
third plastic surgery?
Nephilim Biden, Black Biden, Young
think,
Legs Biden.
I think Biden used it as an excuse not to
just walk out.
Yeah, he didn't want to.
But I think most presidents, it's not always a scheduled part of their day. So if they pop in, it's like a bonus.
It might be a security thing,
I don't know.
but I would still say shut the turbines down. Let me
The
finish
audio
my
file in you.
conversation and then fire it up when I get there. I mean, you get onto a Southwest flight, the engines aren't running when you're getting onto the flight.
Sometimes I wish they were. We could get out of there.
Yeah, they fire it up when you're on the plane.
I saw somebody on Twitter trying to go at MTG. They were like, I just want to say that she hit her retirement 2 weeks ago, just so you know. I'm like, and who doesn't just get to the retirement and then call it a day? Like, who's like, oh, I could retire now, but let me do
I don't
5
think
more
she's
years.
retiring. I don't think she's retiring.
The
I think
assumption
she's-
was that she hit
Oh,
her.
she hit it, and now she's peace.
Yeah, and who wouldn't do that?
No, I think that she saw the writing on the wall that she's going to have a probably pretty tough GOP primary. She already had a tough GOP primary before that she probably wouldn't have won if it hadn't have been for Trump's endorsement. I think that she has her sights set on another office, or I don't know. Rumor has it some people were speculating could she be the new conservative on The View? Which
Or
of course they would go
OnlyFans.
with the most crazy one. They'd go with like the most crazy Republican lady to be on The View.
Well, they should get some balance on The View, right? Like, I don't get what's enticing about watching a team scrimmage its own team
Yeah,
all
I
day.
agree.
Why not scrimmage another team?
I don't disagree. I'm just like, does it have to be Marjorie Taylor Greene?
No,
Could it be Marjorie
yeah.
Taylor Greene and then like a Nikki Haley? Like
Yeah.
a little bit of both sides?
No
of-
Nikki Haley ever anywhere. So real quick, here's the thing. It's like crazy to me that this show is how old? 40 years old, and there
Is it
hasn't
really?
been one straight guy on the show. Like ESPN cannot shoehorn enough women into every single show. Like I watch the NBA draft, it's like 3 chicks and the bisexual talking about the draft. Like we can't get one guy on The View, just one dude who likes to bang chicks. And
There's a lot
drive
of guests
motorbikes.
on that do that.
Yeah, but why?
They're just constantly
It's so
rotating.
No,
crazy
but
to me.
Here's the way the law works with
Yeah.
chicks.
Yeah.
It's the same way with a women's only gym. Women's only gym is noble, but if you do a men's only gym, then you're misogynist douche, right?
So crazy to
the
me.
women, The View, like you go, why isn't there a guy's voice on the? And they go, because it's The View. It's about
It's the
women.
women's
But
view.
if you do halftime talk in the NFL, you got to get a woman in
Yeah.
there. And if you say to them, well, we're just doing dudes. They go, no, you got to have a woman's perspective in there. But by the way,
Outnumbered has a dude.
why do you
It's
need
like the 4 chicks and then the dude.
why do you need
Yeah,
a
the
woman?
conservative sports talk as a dude. Okay.
I don't know that you need a woman's perspective as thinking about the NFL though, because
No,
it's the
but
NFL.
it's getting crazy because
I agree with you. Well, when I did the man show, they said, "Where's the woman's voice?" And we said, "We don't
called
have
the
a woman's
Yeah,
voice."
yeah, she's on the trampoline.
They're like,
that's her voice.
that's
She's
how
yelling,
she-
wee. It's crazy because now in sports they have like the booth that calls the live games.
Yeah.
And now they've shoehorned women into that. And what they've actually done is taken the job of the former player. So now the former players aren't there. They have women in there.
Oh, boo hoo! Former successful NFL player.
Yeah, but that's
So here's the thing, though. This is looking at data and having
I
worked
just
in
want to
media
say
for
this to
20
you
years.
real quick.
Yeah.
I've never been to Buffalo Wild Wings and saw two women arguing who is a better running back, Emmitt Smith or Barry Sanders, ever in my life.
I
I've
have
never
two
seen
girlfriends who could do that. Sam Ponder and Heather Cooney.
That. Yeah, and you're just pulling
But
them
they've
out
never
of two-
been in the
But-
same Buffalo Wild Wings.
Maybe
At the
not.
same
The
time.
different parts of the country. I think that statistically, ESPN is going, what do middle-aged dudes who watch sports like to see? Other than sports, hot chicks. So maybe
Nope.
let's take a hot chick and put her
Nope.
in here.
And guess who else doesn't like it? Women. I can't tell you how many chicks are like, why is this chick talking sports? It's just this whole thing.
If she's not qualified, like if it's a gender hire, that actually pisses me off. But if she's not qualified to be in that position,
No, you
but if
have
it's a
women
qualified
talking.
person,
Listen, I never played pro sports. I love pro sports. If the Dodgers said, "Hey Sam, do you want to sit in our booth and call these games?" I'd be like, "I'm not qualified to do that. I don't know anything. I love basketball. I couldn't call a game." They're shoehorning these chicks in, and they're just doing Google stats. And it's like, I want to hear the guy that played the game. Like, what are the players feeling right now?
I agree. I mean, you want to know what your perspective is from 13 years in the league or whatever it is. All right, I agree with Sam. Go ahead.
Yay!
What's the next one?
Next story. So I'm pretty biased about this story. Apparently, the Trump administration is telling people to dress with respect at airports. So I just kind of love it that the Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, who's a dad of like 6, tells people, "Are you keeping control of your children?" So there's this social media video. Do we have video of it? Let's play this. This is hilarious.
Again, I call this just maybe dressing with some respect. Whether it's a pair of jeans and a decent shirt, I would encourage people to maybe dress a little better, which encourages us to maybe behave a little better. Let's try not to wear slippers and pajamas as we come to the airport. I think that's positive. Again,
So he says that manners don't need to stop at the gate. Like, let's bring the civility and manners back when you travel. Let's not have bare feet on seats and brawling at baggage drop. In this video, Duffy suggested that travelers ask themselves 5 questions before they travel for the Thanksgiving holidays. 1, are you helping a pregnant woman placing her bags in the overhead bin?
I do that.
Good for you. 2, are you dressing with respect? 3, are you keeping control of your children? 4, are you saying thank you to your flight attendants? And 5, are you saying please and thank you in general? Like,
I
you're having
have
to
some
educate.
issues with that. I by the way, I go to airports. I don't see kids anywhere. This is not a good sign. I very rarely see kids at
I
the
see
airport.
more dogs than kids.
Yeah,
True.
it's not a
Especially
good
at
sign.
LAX.
It's not a good sign.
Okay, so he's right in that, when kids wear school uniforms at schools, there's less fighting and less behavior aggressive behavior and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of like pumping in classical music versus rap music. Like, people tend to act as if. And so dressing nicer would lead to less sort of altercations and conflicts and things like that. There's also I noticed it at LAX after COVID, because COVID, everyone got used to doing business in their pajamas. They just said, stay home.
Yep.
So they're just doing meetings and going all Jeffrey Toobin on everyone's ass and having meetings at home, and they're doing their pajamas. And then at some point they opened back up and people never got out of their pajamas. They
They're
just
still in their
went to
PJs.
LAX. And I have said a million times, it's true, LAX looks like a hotel where somebody pulled the fire alarm at 4 a.m. and everyone wandered down to the lobby and they're like wearing slippers with a boner, sweatpants.
You have that, or you have the other extreme, which is like all the TikTok influencers with their like full on-air lashes and extension and highlighter.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
all-
It drives
like
me
both
nuts.
extremes.
I don't want to fly in a suit. That was crazy to me. A nice sweatsuit's nice.
Slippers.
Can I just say one thing though?
Why can't airport have a dress code? A restaurant has a fucking dress code.
That's
Yeah,
true.
why not? I'm totally for that. Also, can we don't really need the seatbelt explanation. I
We
think
know.
we all know that. Can you explain to people, and I'm going to lose some people on this, particularly ethnic people, how to get off a plane, meaning wait your aisle.
Yes.
Oh
Do
my
not
God.
jump. I mean, dude, I cannot. I get up
just had
instantly and
one
I
of these
block
people.
everybody. I just
By the
stand
way,
up.
I'm just they're assholes in my face. If
Yeah.
you're sitting on the aisle and they're just standing there and the aisle's 14
Yeah.
inches wide,
Yeah.
you just this guy's ass crack is 3.5 inches from my nose for 20 minutes while he stands there because he made his way
Do you
from the
guys
back
love
of
the
the
people
plane.
that are always they feel the need to call somebody and be like, yeah, I just landed. Yeah, I'm here for this thing.
I don't text it, but also this is a two-part problem because they dumped their luggage off at the front of the plane when they were leaving, and then they went to the back, and now they're getting off the plane, but their luggage is in the front, and they think that's their territory now.
run.
So they're going to make their way to their luggage. It has to be enforced.
I get up and I instantly block the back. I'm like, wait your turn. And you're talking about butts in your face. Hand to God, I was flying to Austin, and there was a gay Latino, and he had a BBL. Have you ever seen a man with a BBL
What's
before?
a BBL?
That's
Brazilian butt lift.
the fake.
A Brazilian butt lift on a dude?
It was like it was like a Latino guy up top and a Minotaur on the
I
bottom.
love
dude.
that. I knew that.
And he
You
would
did it.
always talk to the row next to me, so his fart bazooka was constantly pointing at my face.
Wow. Like having a gun held to your head.
Yeah, I'm like, take my. I have kids. Just take my
wallet. Yeah, I can make more money.
So you guys probably traditionally travel like this, like hoodies, comfortable clothes.
Yeah,
like
You
not-
have okay. So here's the deal, Coach. It depends where you're flying, but it's so fucking tight and uncomfortable now. And I'm 6'2", and they
Yeah.
keep shrinking everything.
Yep.
They're shrinking
And so
it, dude.
wearing your peg leg jeans, your skinny jeans, and a denim shirt or something that is not comfortable to fly in. So tennis shoes. Sweatpants, but not like 70s
Yeah,
sweatpants.
yeah, not
Got to have pockets with a
Athleisure.
zipper.
Some Adidas.
Yeah, something's
Yeah.
a little thing, and a hoodie, sweat jacket, whatever, ball cap, just something that's going to be comfortable to spend
Yeah.
a lot of time in. And also pockets, like baggy pockets, like throw your earbuds and stuff like that.
I
No
totally
problem. It's
agree.
when you start showing up in slippers and pajamas.
It's okay. So my dad
and
was
tank tops.
the
and
crop top.
like one piece yoga. I mean, some of these girls. Listen, I love looking at it, but I'm like, you're on a plane. Why do you look like you're going to the nightclub right now?
Right,
Yep.
right.
You're rocking camel toe. Again, not complaining, but it's like, is this needs to be on Spirit Airlines when the kids are right,
Right, I
here?
agree,
And I
I
can
agree.
hear your camel toe barking. Let's please.
I agree.
So my dad was an American Airlines pilot, and when we flew standby, we literally had rules that you had to dress up. And like some airlines used to have rules that you couldn't be standby or non-rev and wear leggings. Like there was that whole United
Oh,
fiasco
right,
where the
right.
girl was like, the captain was so mean to me, he wouldn't let me fly first class. And he was like, yeah, because you're in leggings and a hoodie. I don't know. I think we should go back to every airline should have like a level of dress code.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
agree.
closed-toed shoes just make sense for
Well,
safety reasons.
Listen, I'm with you. And what I say all the time is the airport and airlines are just one big rule. It's just rules, everything. Take your belt off,
Yep.
take your shoes off, take your ball cap off,
Yeah.
you know. Like I remember I had my earbuds, they were just in my pocket. I walked through there. It's like I got earbuds, go back and put them through, you know, to go put them in a case, you know, and have them like it's just rules. You got locked out of flight. You should have checked your bag. You have a 50 minutes for the flight. You're 52 minutes. You didn't check your bag. You can't bring your bag on. There's templates to put the bag in. You find me more rules per square foot
Than an airport.
Than an
Yeah,
airport.
that's a good
Okay,
point.
so it's all nonstop rules about you have to have your tray. I'm traveling with Mike August. You know they get that little on top of the tray table. It's the little flap so you can put your phone
Yeah.
on it. It's a little 4-inch
And like
flap.
holds it for you.
Yeah, holds it. So we had the ball game on. We're landing. The chick comes, flap up. It's like a little 4-inch piece of plastic, you know, up in it. Rules, man. Nothing but rules. And you start getting into them with the rules, and the sheriff will be waiting for you on
You'll
that
end up on a
separate.
no-fly
So-
list.
Where else in the world are there more rules than this place? And my argument is as long as we got all the rules, why not just tack on a couple more rules?
Yeah, dress nice.
And by the way, it'll be up to you and the airline to the airline, Southwest goes, we don't charge for one bag. Some are like, we don't charge for two bags. Some are like
Southwest
50.
charges for bags now.
Well, okay. What I'm saying is different places have different.
R.I.P.
Different. There are different criteria for different bags in different places, and that's all it is. You can use the lounge if you have a first class ticket and whatever, but you can't use it if you're only going to Phoenix because that's not far enough. Like rules, and you have to avail yourself of those rules. Like you can't just bring your hunting knife to the airport or your Glock. So in a world of nothing but rules, why are we completely lawless with the dress code?
I agree 100%.
I totally agree on that 100%.
Maybe just no midriff, no butt crack.
I think it's like Senator whoever in the 70s as it pertained to pornography. I'll know it when I see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what you can't do. You know what I mean?
That might have been Justice Alito's.
Was it Justice Alito?
It might have been Justice Alito. Yeah.
Here's a rule. If you wouldn't wear it to meet the parents of your new girlfriend or boyfriend, then don't wear it here.
Yeah.
Like you might wear.
If you wouldn't wear it reading to kindergarten. Oh.
Yeah. That
doesn't work anymore.
All right. What else we got?
All right. This one's kind of creepy and weird. Amanda Bynes has now addressed rumors that Nickelodeon producer Dan Schneider got her pregnant at 13.
Well, okay, I got something on that.
Something happened, right?
I mean, poor girl. A lot of stuff happened. I'm today years old when I realized that she and I are the same age. She's only 39. Of course, she has been through a lot. And in the first clip that now is from TikTok and a recent Instagram story she posted with her boyfriend, she said that this is all about getting clickbait, lies for clickbait. Here we go.
Hi, welcome to my jacuzzi. Today my special guest is the executive producer of the Amanda Show, Dan Schneider.
Hi. Nothing's creepier than a guy in a jacuzzi
wearing
with two
Roy
shirts on.
Orbison sunglasses.
You actually wrote the words we're saying to each other right now.
Yes.
So this is him in a shirt and undershirt and sunglasses sharing a jacuzzi with a 13-year-old.
So she's saying that people took a video of her posting with her boyfriend at an airport, and then this clip of her with Dan Schneider fully dressed in a hot tub, and saying that somebody took the two unrelated clips and manufactured them and put them.
She's saying it's not real.
It's not real.
I will say this, that Dan Schneider dresses nicer for a hot tub than a lot of black chicks do at Burbank Airport.
Yeah. So the rule should be dress like a pedophile hitting on 13
in a hot tub.
In a hot tub. Well, the Britney Spears, Jamie Lynn Spears, that's supposedly the rumor that the dad is Schneider.
Oh, God.
I mean, dude, it's super. I mean,
It's
he's
really
a foot
dark.
fetish, and that's the logo. Oh, come on.
Well, then you have the Drake Bell stuff. The documentary. Did you guys watch that documentary? It was really disturbing. It was called Quiet on Set. And apparently he parted ways, of course, with Nickelodeon in March of 2018. And he has sued the producers of Quiet on Set for defamation. But, I mean, come on, dude.
Good luck with that. Dude, they made up fake shows to have auditions for pilots that were never going to happen.
Yeah, or the stuff that even the writers were talking about.
I've been on a few of those auditions in my career.
Yeah.
Nothing ever came out the other end, and I nailed that
blew my career
shit.
at MTV when I was meeting with a guy at Pitch Shows. He goes, "So you're gay, right?" I go, "Nope." I'm like, "Well, there goes that opportunity. I should have sold my ass. I could have been Rob Dyrdek or whatever his name is."
Bynes hasn't acted now in 15 years. Of course, a couple years after that, she was charged with the DUI before getting in a series of other debacles with the law. She had a conservatorship, much like Britney, but I guess that ended in 2023. In recent months, she's updated her fans on her Ozempic weight loss journey, and she also revealed in April of this year that she's starting an OnlyFans account to help pay the bills.
Of course. It's just checking off all the boxes. Ozempic, OnlyFans.
Can we just maybe ban child actors?
Can we
That might be a
also
little extreme.
apologize to Britney Spears' dad? Be like, okay, maybe you should have
Maybe
been.
had a point there.
Yeah, maybe
Executorship. Yeah. Everyone's going on a weight loss journey. You should just be called
all the body positive people.
Yeah, but it's a journey. Everyone had to, and then we have to accompany you on your not so fat journey anymore.
I love that this is a journey. I'm on a journey.
Yeah,
See
I
me
got
in 2 weeks.
Ozempic. I'll see you in a couple weeks. I lost 8 pounds. That's your journey. There's too many journeys to accompany everyone on their journey.
You can
know what I
always
mean?
tell in the face too.
Yeah.
Like I'm the Bible Belt girl that's really excited that CeCe Winans is going to be singing at the halftime show, like Thanksgiving show for the Lions. Of course, she's a Detroit gal, but she's a gospel singer, in case you didn't know. And my husband and I were like, oh my God, she's on Ozempic. Like literally everybody is on Ozempic. One of the Williams sisters, Meghan Trainor, Amanda Bynes, CeCe Winans, everybody. Nobody like loses weight the old-fashioned way anymore.
Because that takes effort and hard work.
Oh my God, it takes me like a year and a half after every kid to lose 50 pounds.
In this like add water and percolate kind of culture we live in, which is like instant gratification.
Yeah.
Why would you want to put in the time?
Did Amanda Bynes, so what happened with her? Was she molested by this guy or not? Did we figure it out?
I don't know.
On DraftKings, am I putting bets down?
My money would be on, at the very least, she was sexually harassed.
Yeah, at some point.
I don't know if she was physically assaulted.
Listen, this is my whole thing, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got into comedy to get chicks. I mean, I wanted to be funny. It's the only thing I
But
can
not
do.
minors.
No, not. But this is my point. I don't trust any dude who does kids
job.
entertainment. Like I have a kids comic book I'm doing called The Chaos Twins, but because I have daughters, I wanted to put out something that has them in it. But if you're like a dude who doesn't have kids and you're like, I'm going to do children's entertainment, I'm like, that's creepy to me.
Well, you shouldn't. It just means you're not talented to me. Maybe you're creepy, but it also means you can't
Like,
do
so
things
they
for
can't
adults.
cut it in adult entertainment, so they go to entertain kids?
Let me lay this out for you guys. When you have like an uncle who's 51, but he's impaired mentally, people go, they'll go, Neil is probably operating like a 9-year-old like mentality, like he's a 9-year-old, maybe an 8 or 9-year-old mentality. Okay, so that means all 8 and 9-year-olds are retarded.
Yeah. Which
Well, they're like retarded adults.
They do. Their prefrontal cortex
Well, they're
isn't fully
retarded
formed.
adults.
Like-
All right, so I do comedy for retarded adults.
They like
well,
fart
when you
jokes.
say you do books for kids, I just hear I do entertainment for retarded adults.
Yes.
And that's what it is. So if you make movies, you write books. By the way, we all have to worship at the altar of Dr. Seuss. A cat in a hat. It was green eggs and ham. Sam I am.
Oh, my
I'll have
God.
no eggs on a train. I'll have them on a plane. I'll have them in a box. I'll have them with a fox. Yeah, I could shit that out fucking drunk at 4 a.m. on my worst day. So don't give me this hero shit.
He was also a socialist. So.
Not creative and fuck right off.
Yeah, I mean, kid book authors are the worst rappers of all time. Have you ever read their lyrics?
Yes.
They are the worst rappers.
And by the way, each page has 9 words on it.
Yeah.
Sally hopped
It's really
on
more
pop.
on the illustrator.
Yes, the illustrator. If you say I wrote and illustrated my book,
Yes.
I'll go fine. If you go, I wrote a children's book and I had some other guy, I'll go, you don't know fucking shit then.
Go
You know what I
read
mean?
books from kids' books from like the 80s. It is 2 different levels of teaching.
Oh, so different. Even they had to like dumb down the American Girl doll books, like what my generation grew up with, to today because of kids' inability to read. I mean, and of course you have like UCSD that is now teaching elementary school level math courses because kids, freshmen in college, are showing up and don't know. Like there was a graph and it was like 2 + 3 equals, and then it was 0 + whatever number. They couldn't figure out the problem.
We
It was
took
insane.
away hitting kids, and now they do whatever they want.
That's right.
I can't spank my kids; they're too cute.
Oh man, I used to hop in that hot tub and beat the shit out of those
It's like
kids.
working with domestic terrorists. That's who your kids are, domestic terrorists, and they're burned. They're having BLM riots in the kitchen, and they just run the show. I mean, my mom gives me advice. I'm like, Mom, even though you didn't, you could have hit us. You could have beat the shit out of us, and everyone's like, "That's a good parent."
Yep.
Can't do that anymore, and these kids know it.
She would take away your TV time.
My daughter
Hangout
she's
time.
5. She's like, "You son of a bitch," and I laughed so hard. It was the cutest thing ever. But I'm like, I have to do something here, or else she's gonna say that to her teacher who has a nose ring. Yeah.
All right, let me give some plugs. My new Home Depot run is on YouTube.
Nice.
Or my vlog, so if people want to see me
You're
cruise
helping
through a
teach
home.
kids people's skills.
I am. These are real world building skills I'm learning,
I love
and I'm
that.
walking through Home Depot. World War Debate is Sam's new show. Where do we find that, Sam?
You can go to samtripoli.com events or the World War Debate. It's basically because debates are all on these different podcasts. No, you don't know the one place, so we're creating the UFC, the NFL of debates.
Nice.
So
Smart.
it's like one place, and it's going to be January 10th and at Caesar's Palace in Atlantic City, and it's going to be the gold standard debates every month, every other month. Everyone, the biggest names on the internet, any of their beefs are going to come and they're going to debate, and it's going to be just like an NFL game with all the statistics and all that stuff. So we're centralizing into the gold standard of debates, and
Cool.
everyone, the people we're getting are huge, and we're about to announce the card, so we're very excited about it. Adam, we'd love to have you debate. If there's anyone you want to debate,
I would, man.
I'd love
I'll
if I
do.
could use Gavin
Adam and
Newsom.
Sunny Hostin?
Let's go.
Sunny Hostin, maybe? Will be...
My emphasis would be on why passion fruit iced tea sucks.
Let's go,
And let's
bro.
do away with the red left turn era. All right, Alicia Krause. You can find her weekly op-ed on the Washington Examiner. Until next time, it's Adam for Sam and Alicia Krause saying Mahala.
Pick up your phone and leave us a voicemail at 888-634-1744. And be sure to get tickets to see Adam Carolla at adamcarolla.com.
Hey, Ace Man, it's Cam from Boston. Just wanted to report that both my mom and dad made me a variety of sandwiches: corned beef, roast beef, Italian style, PB&Js, PB and fluffs, all different kinds of lunch meats, you name it. I love the shit out of them, but I also didn't permanently move out of their 1,000 square foot house till I was about 29 years old. So there's a give and take there, but take it easy.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
So, little twist with rifling. I was connecting rifling with bullets, but they rifled their muskets in the Civil War, which gave their musket balls more accuracy.
Yeah.
But still not as accurate as a bullet would be, which came a few years
It made
later.
about 300 yards if it's rifled.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, your dad knows.
I think so, yeah.
David, did your mom, I know your mom was a nurse and a sweet lady and looked the other way and kept stolen mopeds in the kitchen, but
Yeah.
did she make you sandwiches? And in Ireland, do they eat sandwiches?
Well, yeah, you'd be shocked. We will eat any food. If you're from a country that had starvation, you're going to eat anything except potentially peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, who a very small population or number of the population stole from America. But for the most part, I think we do not believe peanut butter to be a protein whatsoever.
What is a good Irish sandwich?
Ham and cheese, or cheese and ham, or you can have ham and cheese. And the only decision is it on white bread or brown bread.
And did your mom make you sandwiches?
Yeah, she would have. I still remember turning up in I think I was one of Ireland's first exchange students ever to this university in Montreal, and also the last. But I'll never forget walking into Subway and the guy just offered me all these different bread types, and I was like, "The hell are all these questions like raw bread, dry bread, double red crunch?" And I'm like, "Dude, you just decide." And he's like, "It is not my job, sir, to pick the cheese or the bread." And I was like, "I've never had all these options before." I literally just got a bread roll. At one stage when I was working in a factory somewhere when I was in college, I just buy a bread roll, nothing on it at all, just a bread roll and a thing of milk. So yeah, your sandwiches are slightly fancier. I've never seen a country put so many unnecessary objects in a sandwich.
Well, you know what I realize? We are a country that likes telling people on the other side of the counter what to do.
Yeah.
And I now had this thought. Starbucks is for ladies. Because every lady I've ever done, my Starbucks orders, give me a large coffee, and then they go, what kind of, just medium or whatever you got, whatever's new, put it, then I'll just put a little cream in it, right? Every woman I've ever known they want the caramel macchiato, light foam, but not too hot, and lots of questions. Do you have almond milk? Do you have almond? No. How about coconut? Do you do a soy milk? Do you do an almond soy coconut? And what they're doing is they're having it's basically the train to the dress. Like, I'm getting married, I need some squires to carry this thing behind me, do my bidding, and the person behind the counter is having to take this super complicated order. Every woman has that. Every guy pretty much just wants a cup of coffee. Now, but the sandwich place, that's where the guy kicks in. Where he's like light mayo, extra mustard, a double up on the tomato, no onion. What, use it sweet relish, or is it right now? We're at Starbucks.
You want pepperoncinis or what?
Yeah,
exactly. A whole bunch of things I've never heard of in my whole life were the options that presented itself to me. Especially when you come from a country that's known to be a dairy-loving country, but you only have one option, like milk or no milk. There's no skim milk, semi-skilled, half-skilled. I was like, how is your whole country lactose intolerant?
Wait, you're telling me cuisine has not returned to Ireland since the Great Potato Famine?
Easy now. It certainly has. We've imported a lot of the foods from around the world. We're getting fancy these days, but growing up, yeah.
Well, you know what? What Ace was really getting at was, did your mom put love in these sandwiches?
She care?
She put love in the sandwiches.
She cared.
She put love in the microwave chips, yeah. I can't speak badly about her because she passed away recently. And then her last wish, this is what I've been doing for the last few weeks because I was in Brazil and she wanted to be cremated, but she wanted the ashes spread in America. And I'm like, weren't you a legal immigrant in America? That'd be pretty ironic if we just legally spread your ashes over there. But I've had to carry them with me. So I've been traveling around with these fucking ashes for the last few weeks. And it was getting pretty morbid. Like,
bro, let's go to Forest Lawn and just do this right now.
That's what I was thinking.
Wait, it's in the trunk of your car?
I put them in the post to my uncle, and then USPS lost them in the post.
Oh, no.
Your mom took a trip?
Yeah, she went on a 5-day trip, and then they finally found them. So anyway, you're bringing back all the love and memories. Did she make sandwiches with love? She definitely did. Did I deserve to put her in USPS and lose her? Remains around the States? No.
She was scared. Look, first off, this is interesting, this concept of the multi-scatter zone, because I met a woman last weekend, and I was at a car thing in Talladega, at the racetrack at Talladega in Alabama. And she called me over, and she said, Adam, let me show you my car. It's a slant nose Porsche. I mean, it doesn't have the lights up front, so slant nose. And it's a turbo and blah, blah, blah. And it had a roll cage in it and a harness and stuff. And she said, my husband, God bless him, he just departed, but he would race this car and he'd take me and it was all, we'd go to that. And then I said, oh, well, that's so nice. You have his car and you have his memory and you take the kids and you bring it. And she said, and we did his ashes. We did it at the Corkscrew at Laguna Seca. Then we went to Road America and we scattered a few. And they're scattering his ashes on all his favorite tracks.
He's going to show up in so many murder investigations.
Hooters. They're like, we just found this guy's remains in Hooters.
Guy is
all his favorite
He's got
places.
his marks all over it.
So I would respectfully say you got to commit to a track that you want your ash. Like, look, I've raced at a lot of different places. I'll take Laguna Seca, fine. But I don't need to be spread to Road Atlanta. It's a lot of trouble for the person.
When you die, you want us to burn you up and then put you in the tires and burn you out around the track? That's what you're saying?
Hey, she evidently was like sprinkling it out the window. She was going around the track, I assume. But how many places does your mom want to go?
Well, that's the question. I did, or involuntarily go, as the case. There was a guy that opened for me in a comedy club recently in Minnesota, and he's like, I'm Irish myself. It didn't sound it, but he was nice. And then he started talking about shooting his granddad's remains. They made bullets out of its granddad, and then we're shooting him out of a musket somewhere. And I'm like, that is some second generation Irish stuff.
Was it rifle? Was it a musket rifle? Did his grandfather find the mark?
Some old school good. They were just shooting him out of this thing, loading him up and shooting him out.
They didn't put his ashes.
I've never heard that before. Made bullets out of it.
I've never heard that.
I'm going to do Mike Miller with the 21-gun salute.
Yeah, I thought it was very American. I'm like, that's way more American than Irish. Don't be blaming that on your Irish heritage. We are not shooting our dead people out of guns.
How many places does your mom want to be scattered?
Only one, but I think hopefully none of our spilled out going around the USPS depots.
Okay, so
yeah, only one. Only one. No, she'd been a nurse for a long time in a place outside New York City, so that was the.
That's where she wants to go.
Only one. No racetracks, but I mean, I could do a detour.
God bless her.
That's what I was thinking. She made good sandwiches.
Is it a burden on the living to pick a place that's far away and then task the living with spreading the ashes around?
You know what my dad wants? He wants me to take him to Nepal and give him a sky burial. You know what that is?
No.
Oh, my God. They hack you up and then feed you to the vultures. You get picked off the top of a mountain.
Yeah, see, that's imposing.
Pretty
Hunter S.
badass.
Thompson. Hunter S. Thompson's remains were shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, hell yeah.
See?
I knew I heard that somewhere.
You guys are shooting the living and the dead out
I'm
of
saying
things.
probably a 50 cal, Bop, 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 bop,
You know,
bop.
I put on mine under the Golden Gate Bridge to be scarred. I did.
You want to
yeah.
be? That's on your will.
I have it on me will.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, but now that you said it, I'm like, yeah, that's a bit imposing. Somebody has to risk their limbs. to
No,
get
no,
out
I
there.
would. Oh, listen, I'll handle you.
Thank you.
I'll just dump it off the edge. I'm
You'll
not
be on
going
one of
in the
those-
water.
I'm thinking just feed my corpse to the great whites so they get a taste for human flesh.
Jeez, you've thought about this. You look way too happy when you said that.
Yeah. All right. So we do. Yeah, even gender reveals turns into a shot for us. We like to fire stuff. That's
like
what
bombs.
We do.
Yeah,
We like bombs, explosions.
Oh, you do.
I got to say, when I was in Alabama, I passed a few fireworks stands, and I was like, I want to go in.
Oh,
badly.
nothing? You didn't even... I would have stopped by for M&A.
Any building that has no windows, I'm in. That's strip club, fireworks, or good bar.
You're
Escape
a builder.
room, sadly, is
You know
added
how
to that
good
list.
those 2x4s are put together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That thing wouldn't explode into a bit of shrapnel.
You
All
guys
right,
just
what do you
love
got in
blowing
the
up stuff.
news department?
Well, in the
So-
news, first up, man, Bruce Willis' wife, Emma, is defending her actions because she's taken Bruce home. And he'll, live out his days
Oh,
with dementia
taking him
at the
home
house.
from the home.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, why
She's
is she
not putting him
getting-
away. She's just out there, defending her action. People are saying, "Oh, he needs a 24-hour care somewhere else," but she's taking. I know. I'm with you.
We have a weird relationship with death. Speaking of what we're just speaking of, but I just mean at a certain point, you've lost all quality of life. You don't know where you are. You take 5 people full time to take care of you. That's not. You're supposed to die at a certain point. We're able to stave that off with modern technology. But if you really talk about it, they go, well, we don't want these doctors playing God. Well, isn't that playing God? Like keeping someone alive for years after they should be
But
dead?
the thing is, it's like what? Let him starve himself out? Like what? Set him out into the woods? It's a very difficult decision to make.
I wouldn't trust my loved ones with you. You'd be dragging them up a mountain in Nepal trying to feed them to
I'm saying,
vultures.
I would put them in like a hamster ball situation where they just have to turn this wheel to create electricity for all time.
I came up with this horrible joke once, but it was in one of my books, which is they're talking about, who's going to pay to keep these people on life support for all this time, like Terry Schiavo and stuff like that. I said, all that stuff should be coin operated. And we'll see how many family members love you enough to feed quarters into that
Keep
thing
feeding
for the
them
rest of
later.
the And it's
That's
a
a great joke. What?
It solves itself because you wouldn't want to return to a world where
brutal.
nobody loved you enough to get a roll of quarters and put it in that machine.
The only way I'm doing it is if the horsey goes like this, back and forth, back and forth.
I think my mom, my dad recently died. They just stop eating at a certain point.
Yeah, they have the choice to keep feeding them. And I think that was a call I got where I was like, are you guys okay? We would stop feeding her at this point. And we're like, no, she doesn't want to be around anymore. Like, once you can't do stuff, you want to be out there. Now, maybe you get desperate last minute and you change your mind. You're like, actually, I haven't made my peace with a few things. I want to keep going. But yeah, it was a weird one. She was lucky and unlucky because they gave her a cancer diagnosis. She was gone within 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
On the full diagnosis of it. Yeah, but she would have, if I had asked her in advance, like, how do you want this to play out? That's how she would have wanted to play out.
yeah.
She wouldn't have wanted to be in a home with someone looking after her all day. I'm telling you that.
A lot of, I remember finding my grandmother. My grandmother had pills hidden in an armoire that had like a crown molding at the top, and it was about a foot from the ceiling. It was like a dresser, and I was, as a carpenter, I was putting crown molding up in her bedroom. And I got up on a ladder and I looked down into this piece of furniture and there was pills and a couple of things of pills. And I said to her, she was younger-ish at the time. I don't know, she's 69, 70 or something. I said, what's these pills hidden up in these things? And she said, oh, those are my suicide pills.
Wow.
And I said, what's the plan with that? She said, well, when I get older, I don't want to hang out and be a burden, and I don't want to live this life where I'm married to a wheelchair and in bed and someone's wiping my ass. I'm taking those pills. I'm getting out with dignity. And I remember at the time, I was like 20, 21. I was like, all right, well, good for you then. Good. That bitch made it like 94, had full-time help, went through all her fucking savings, had to get a second mortgage on the house. She hung on to every last second of her life being picked up and set on the toilet, the whole all that stuff with all this suicide pill stuff. She did not reach for those pills.
Meanwhile, I'm hanging out with one inside a capsule in my tooth.
That's right, like a German officer in Nuremberg. All right, what else we got?
All right, next we got, man, a little viral moment. Billionaire Mark Cuban got faced with some tough questions from former Fox News host Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, I saw this.
This is a pretty funny clip.
I like Mark Cuban, but Mark has a little pie in the sky version of life. But all right, here it is. Sorry.
Mark, let me ask you a question. What's your take on whether we should be sending money to Ukraine or not? Were you in favor of that?
Man, they need it.
I mean, honestly, I don't have a good answer. You know, I can make an argument both ways, and half my family is Ukrainian from my grandparents, and so, you know, personally, I think we should help, but I don't have a studied answer for you.
How much money have you sent to Ukraine?
None.
Oh, so what do you mean by we? You're the one whose family's from Ukraine. Like, why don't you send them $1 billion?
Because I'm trying to fix healthcare.
Why don't you fix their health care if you're like so deep? If you think we need to help, why don't you start? How about you first? I notice that's never like even an option for anybody. It's like, we need to help. That's not what charity is. Forcing other people to help is not charity.
Here's the
it's
good
vanity.
news. The good news is all the weapons were on loan lease. We're getting it back. And our dear President Trump has negotiated that we own half the minerals. So he turned this horrible tragedy of a war into a profit center, which is one of his unique gifts. I think we can all agree.
Can I just...
Yeah, I like Tucker. I like both those guys. And Mark's a weird guy because he makes very strong takes strong positions, makes strong accusations and stuff, but he doesn't really defend them with a lot of fire. He just kind of goes, well, all right, yeah, you're right. They're both nice guys at their core who say a lot of sort of outrageous things, right and left, and Tucker sort of everywhere in between. At his core, he's like a super gregarious guy, likes humor, likes to laugh, sort of is a writer more than he is a speaker, does tons of writing, has an interesting life of lives in the guest house with his wife and their dogs, gets up in the morning and dunks himself in the cold swimming pool and then writes, and it's this eclectic, kind of rides his bike around the island in Florida he lives on and stuff. He's a hard guy to categorize. He says a lot of nutty things. I would imagine that him and Cuban are probably a lot alike, even though they don't seem a lot alike. There's a lot of guys that are a lot alike that seem diametrically opposed. There's a lot of guys I was just talking to Bill O'Reilly, and he's always busting Kimmel's balls, and I'm sure Jimmy Kimmel hates Bill O'Reilly. They're a lot alike. They're just different in terms of their subject, but as humans, there's a lot of similarities.
The hardware is similar, but the software is different.
They're both funny. O'Reilly doesn't get credit for it, but he likes comedy, and he's funny. They're both big, sort of bigger than life. They're both super opinionated and feel strongly about their own opinion. They both have a lot of they're headstrong. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what's right. Here's what I'm going to say. There's a lot of crossover with them. I'm not making this up. It exists in many facets of life, but I don't think Mark Cuban and also I think Mark Cuban and Tucker could definitely have a beer and a laugh together.
The shadow realm thems back and forth. Yeah.
Well, it was a good question. He certainly, the writer in him came out for that moment because that's a show-stopping question.
Oh, he's zinged him with the nerdy question. I know.
Yeah, I agree with him to some degree. But if you are a billionaire and there's something you feel passionate about, then you should. I think most rich people know that at the end of the day, their money is getting squandered wherever they give it, no matter what. Whenever you do this, Mindami is now going, if we just get an extra 1% from the 1%, then we'd have $10 billion extra. It's like, you're not going to fix it. You never fix anything. Nothing ever comes out the other end. So like Mark Cuban could liquefy all his wealth right now, get it down to, $2.7 billion, put it all in an attaché case and take it to Ukraine and hand it to Zelensky. Yeah. And then there'd be zero, nothing would ever come out
the other end.
The other end. You could take, or he could take it all and give it to the LA Unified School Board. And 10 years from now, test scores would be exactly the same, and nothing would ever. And I think those guys all kind of know that. So,
yeah, it's a drop in the ocean sometimes.
Well, I'm saying if I'd set up with Lockheed Martin, right, and I just go, hey, pump these out right here. You have like a strange new world of billionaires funding wars or something, or funding aid, or I don't know what that really brings up if you're going to give money directly.
It's a gotcha. To be fair to Cuban, I don't like when people do and they go, when the politician goes, we got to bring these grocery prices down, and they go, how much does a quart of milk cost? And they go, I don't know. Oh, you don't even know how much a quart of milk costs? And it's I know. He doesn't. It still means we got to bring these costs down.
It's a loaded question. But it's funny, as you were talking, I was just thinking that it's funny when someone is financially well off hits you up to give to a cause, and they're like, hey, we're doing this half marathon. We're only $400 away from our target. And you're like, dude, you're worth like $6 million. Just pay the $400. What do you email it all your friends for? Just make it happen. But I often think that if you're sitting on that many resources, well, go change something.
I believe that they know better than anybody that you could give Ukraine $10 billion and nothing would change. Well, that's the problem.
It depends where you're sitting, because the Ukrainians that are calling Ireland home these days would bite your hand off to get that input to do something with it. So there's no bad that's going to come out of that.
No bad, but I think if you said to a lot of rich people, look, whether it's Ukraine or the homeless situation, you go, look, I have something that if we can raise, $20 billion, we can end homelessness tomorrow. They do it. But they don't think it. I mean, we just spent $24 billion and we don't have anything. We just have more homeless. So I think they don't think it's going to fix anything.
It's such a wild number here, the homeless thing. In Dublin, like when I was from in Ireland, you wouldn't see it growing up, but now you do. And it was a quantifiable number. So you're like, all right, we're all one person removed from these dudes. Surely we can fix this. And then it starts creeping up, and you're getting the stage like, oh, crap, how do we actually do something about this? But in Ireland, I'd say it was very quantifiable and very solvable, and still is. That's why you have such a frustration. But in America, when I go around, it's on such a scale that you're like, Jesus, how do we stop that? Like you go to San Francisco or Seattle or Portland, you're just like, whoa, that is nuts. LA.
Yeah. Yes.
I think they just lose hope. They're like, I can't do it. And then you're like, you probably can. If you get your finger out, you can probably do something. I don't know. Maybe that's the optimist in me going, like, you can definitely do something. But did he sting him with a pretty good question? That's a good show-stopping question.
Yeah.
Especially if he's Ukrainian. It's kind of like a DJ Khaled posting holiday photos these days. And you're like, what are you saying about your country? Like, when it's that close to home. You got to do something.
Where's DJ Khaled supposed to be from?
Palestine.
Oh, he's Palestinian.
I don't know. I assumed I know nothing about anything celebrity orientated.
Little factoid: his first name was DJ Arab Attack.
Was it?
But he changed it after 9/11.
All right.
Wise move.
Next in the news, drone strike. Greta Thunberg led Gaza flotilla in Tunisian port.
You gotta find Larry King interviewing DJ Khaled. It's the greatest clip ever, because Larry King, it's weird. You go, well, he was a great interviewer. Was he a great interviewer? He was a great interviewer. So like every 9-year-old's a great interviewer, because every 9-year-old would just go, well, why are you so fat? And why are you bald? And what happened?
Exactly.
I loved him because I got to meet him, and I was like, talking to this guy was just like talking to, it was just wild. He was amazing. I thought he got me thinking about things I never thought.
Oh, animatronic robot.
We talking about Larry?
Yeah, he was full of life.
I love Larry.
Yeah,
he's been on this show a few times.
I was asking him. It was just me and 4 or 5 Jewish guys out to breakfast, and we were batting around like all the things of Irish and Jewish. And I was like, "Well, they're not naming dogs after you people, but they're doing with Irish people in America. Like, you wouldn't send that, would you?" Like, and I was like, Molly,
Irish
Murphy,
setter,
and
right.
Riley, 3 of the top 10 dog names in America. But
I also have Irish setters.
Yeah, you have Irish. Well, at least we have some responsibility in those. You didn't just take the name and genericize
Molly's my
it.
Irish setter.
Dude,
well,
Larry
this
was
is
a
him.
character.
This is him telling Larry that he keeps clean. All right, that's awesome. Let's just watch.
You know, I want the house on the water. I want the nice car. I want the nice watch. I want to stay fresh. I want to stay clean. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. You should strive for greatness.
How did you gain all the weight?
That's a showstopper question.
That's great. And he's also like he's like a detective, looking for traces of blood types, and it's how'd you gain all the weight?
I loved him. He sat, I went for breakfast. They used to do this breakfast meetup that I was lucky to be part of twice. Somebody got invited, and it'd be Larry and a couple of his friends every morning.
In Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was very unusual. I was like, what am I doing at this thing? But
what are you doing at that thing?
I've no idea. And there was a beautiful girl from Argentina there, and she was like some news TV presenter. I'm like, she's definitely here as part of this thing as well. I didn't say hello because I'm like, whatever. But Larry he was pretending he couldn't hear her. So like I was sitting between them. So he's like, "Oh, I'm a bit hard of hearing. Hey, can you just move Irish fella out of the way to get her over?" And when he'd go into this restaurant, they'd take his jacket like religiously and go guard it somewhere as like this black leather jacket. And and he got up. I think he used to leave whenever his blueberries ran out. He'd bring his own blueberries or something with him to breakfast. It was something kind of quirky that I thought was pretty unusual. He's like, "Oh, 11 blueberries. That's it. I'm out of here, off to work." And he gets up when the blueberries ran out, and he kind of puts out his arms as if he's expecting the jacket to come, but he was so busy talking to this Argentinian girl that I had taken the jacket and I was waiting to give it to him, but he didn't notice. And he was, what's the famous adage by Yogi Berra that the difference between men and women is like if a man's in a forest or something, he'd be like, "We're not lost, we're making good time." Mm-hmm. Something like that. But Larry had been telling that story and I'd been listening. But anyway, he's like, "Where's my jacket?" And I was like, "Well, you were lost in Argentina, but you were making good time. Here you go." And it does the biggest smile ever. I was like, "You old stallion," on the jacket and out the door.
He's going to be missed. All right,
brilliant
sorry.
character.
Greta.
I just wanted you to know that Greta Thunberg got drone striked. Yeah. We've got some video.
Yeah, she was on a boat heading to Palestine.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Well, the thing the rest of the world is fixated on a problem is solve it. You'll find the Irish on that boat and a few Brazilians and a lot of our actors and stuff. Yeah,
really?
They drone struck it last night. The drone struck the last flotilla as well.
But didn't sink the boat, did it?
No. It just caught fire to the front deck, and then they put it out.
And Israel did this, I guess. I don't know.
100% Israel did that.
I saw another video that said they just dropped a flare. They misfired a flare on their
this
own
whole
boat.
thing is unclear.
Yeah, that's the American news version.
Yeah, there's like 6 versions of the story.
Well,
right now.
all right,
They dropped a bouquet of flowers to say thank you.
Let's do this math. If Israel wanted to sink the boat, they could sink the boat.
I think they did destroy their last boat.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
a whole
easily.
flotilla
Are you
of
kidding me?
boats.
Like, they have the best
Right,
technology.
so they don't want to sink the boat.
No.
What are they trying to do?
They're trolling them, I think.
They're
Somebody
trolling them?
is. I don't know. It's unclear at this time what's going on.
But also, do we believe anything Greta Thunberg says?
Well, I do, because there's a bunch of Irish people on those boats, and they are live putting out very reliable sources.
Just putting cigarettes out on oil rags, like they're just dancing on the...
Why are there a bunch of Irish people on it?
Well, we're very sensitive to any global issue where we think a large-scale minority group is being completely screwed over. So wherever we view somebody as being hard done by in the world, we kind of, we nearly self-appointed ourselves to talk about it because we're like, hey, we got majorly screwed over. These guys are being majorly screwed over. We need to be speaking up for this.
Are there actors and other local people?
Activists. But the scale of this one, I think, was pretty huge. But it's wild because it's not on mainstream media over here ever. But in Ireland, it dominates our media.
We do a lot of, everyone knows Greta Thunberg is heading on the flotilla, but
This
we
stunt
got
works.
that.
So they're trying to draw attention to this cause, and they have.
Yeah, but you don't want to kill anyone, obviously, because you're killing all the world's activists and you're bringing negative news story about yourself. But they do want to stop it happening. They don't want anybody to be able to enter those waters and bring aid to anyone. I imagine, I don't know. I'm not the most well-versed news story person.
Right. So Israel doesn't want to sink the boat.
They want to stop them bringing aid to a bunch of people who need aid.
Right,
It's a sign
but
that you can't get through.
Isn't it bad PR for them to drop a flare on the boat?
Are you kidding? They have bigger problems. They're blowing up buildings and blowing up people. PR is not there.
You're thinking content farm, huh?
Yeah.
You're thinking
Well,
inside job.
I
think it's very possible.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with the times we're living in. Some of the stuff is like the Nord Stream pipeline. It blew up, and then we don't know if the Russians blew it up or we blew it up or somebody else blew it up. And then someone goes, why would the Russians blow it up? It's their pipeline. And then someone else would go, they blew it up because it's their pipeline, and no one would think it was them blowing it up to get attention or whatever. So now your head's kind of swimming a little bit because you're like,
your news is alternate, but this one is more like you find a guy called Brian who set fire to your car, and he's still sitting next to your car when it's on fire, and you're like, here, Brian, did you do that? And he's like, wasn't me.
So Israel, it
worked for Shaggy.
Ben Shapiro's going to be in here in a couple days. I'm going to ask him. Ben Shapiro. So Israel took a drone and fired something at it, or dropped
If they did, if that was the case, that'd be nonstop, wall-to-wall news.
Yeah, maybe
I've not
it was
heard
Hamas.
one
Maybe it
thing
was
about
Hamas
that.
with that radio-controlled helicopter.
Well, you'll find it on the Irish State News if you go on there. That will be a big major story. But here it isn't. That's why when I was sitting and watching the TV and it's like the kid having the baseball stolen off them, I'm like, we're covering bigger
But what I'm saying is the media hates Israel. This would be fodder for them. This would be manna from heaven. They would be all over the place with this.
I don't know if it hates anyone or likes anything, but if you'll obviously have a certain side on things, so it's you're susceptible.
I heard about it.
The genocide.
Greta in the looks department went a different direction than I was hoping.
Lord Farquaad haircut?
Yeah, it's a crazy page boy and stuff like that. I'm going to be petty, but I had heard this story, so it was somewhere, but I don't know where I saw it or where I heard it, and I still couldn't figure out. Well, I don't know. Let's watch it one more time. The boat was docked near Capitol. So the boat was docked, so it wasn't.
No, this was open ocean. That something.
Oh, then I don't know. Now I'm reading the boat.
No, it's in Tunisia.
What was the story? Was the boat docked? Was it
this
out
is second
in open water?
The main deck.
What's your take on whether we should?
All right.
The main. Now we're running
Mark
off the rails.
Cuban.
He just drifted back to Ukraine there momentarily.
All right, I'll ask Ben Shapiro what he thinks happened.
Ask someone else. Don't ask the Irish because we'll get pretty riled up about that one.
The story says that the boat was docked near the Tunisian capital, Tunis, and then it was droned in the middle of the night. Tunisia denies droning them.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
And there is video on Twitter of them misfiring a flare gun and lighting their own boat on fire.
See, that's what I'm saying. The story is developing.
Yeah, exactly. As in, none of us actually know.
All right, I'm ready to end on a.
Well, but wait, Coach,
note.
we got important Charlie Sheen news. You got liposuction after a prostitute called him fat, and then Charlie Sheen reveals how partying with Nicolas Cage sent him to rehab.
Charlie Sheen, for a guy who's got a lot of money, gets really critical prostitutes who they barricade themselves in his room. They like wreck things. They call him fat, which is, again, that's not good protocol.
He's the result of that motorcycle lifestyle that you were talking about earlier when it just doesn't stop. You just keep going. You're like, I'm going to keep going. I'm a wild man.
You're not supposed, first off, if you're a prostitute, 7/8 of your clientele is overweight. Because it's just rich business guys who can't get laid.
Well, if
without
you're in America, they're all overweight.
They're all overweight.
Statistically.
Right. So I'm saying let's not critique the guy in his underpants who's paying the bills around here. Like a little decorum would be nice. Didn't you see Pretty Woman? You know, that's what I would do. I would sit down with any woman I was about to turn out, and I would sit down and I go, we're going to take 95 minutes, and I'm going to show you what a proper prostitute, how they dress, how they
Okay, but
act.
I'm still on the clock. She.
All right, I'll pay you, but let's just notice she did not try to stab him. She did not lock herself in the suite. She did not make fun of his appearance.
That's right. My mama raised me right.
I didn't say she had to be black and Pretty Woman. She's not, but you get it. A little decorum. So the prostitute, but in a weird way, the prostitute is the mouth of babes because your publicist's not going to say anything. Your agent's not going to say anything. The wardrobe chick at 2.5 Men's not going to say anything because they're all getting paid. You know what I mean? Like, the prostitute is going to tell you the truth.
True, not going to sugarcoat it. I know so little about Charlie Sheen that I'm like, I just assumed he was always doing strange prostitution things. So I was like,
Well, it's just, it's a numbers game, Ace. You get enough prostitutes going.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
You'll
right.
get some compliments somewhere.
You're right.
But he is a man in the numbers game.
All right, let me tell everyone where everyone's going to be for everything. Bill O'Reilly, Confronting Evil, it's the name of his book. David's special, Shelf Help, as an elf on a shelf, is out September 11th. That's tomorrow as you hear this. Where do we go? Where do we find your special, by the way?
That one, I put it on YouTube. Because
on YouTube. Find it out
why not?
on YouTube. I'll be in Albuquerque September 26th at the Chemo Theater, and then Flagstaff September 27th at the Orpheum Theater. And then I'm over at Kimmel's Club over there in Vegas. And blah. Just go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. Until next time, it's Adam Carolla from Mayhem and David Nihill and Bill O'Reilly saying mahalo.